Good morning, folks. How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. We're just getting going this morning. And good Saturday morning to you. I think today's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I'm at it almost every day, so sometimes I forget which day it is. But today is Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. How we doing, folks? What you doing for this weekend? You doing something fun? Doing something exciting? What you doing for this weekend? Where you at? Where are you this weekend? What city are you in, man? What country are you in? What state are you in? Let us know. Inquiring minds would like to know where you are joining us from this beautiful Saturday. Well, as you know, like I said, my name is Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist. I talk about all things insulin resistance. I talk about all things diabetes, weight loss, pre-diabetes, erectile dysfunction, you name it. We talk about it, right? We talk about all of that. So that is kind of how we're going to roll today. So with that being said, how's everybody doing? We'll send a couple more folks joining, a couple more folks coming into the room. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Like I said, if you're just joining us, if you're first time here, my name is Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, where we talk about all things insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, PCOS. So if that's you, if you're struggling with any of those erectile dysfunction, if you're struggling with any of those conditions, man, this is where you want to be. That's the place. This is the place where you want to be today, right? Perfect place to spend your Saturday. Perfect place. We're going to be here until 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's 12 noon. So we're going to be here for about 4 hours, folks. So we got a lot of stuff in store for you today. A lot of stuff in store for you. A couple more folks coming into the room. How you doing, folks? Tap in with me. Let me know where you're from. Man, what city you're from, what country you're from, what state you're from. Tap in with me and let me know where you are this beautiful Saturday. Like I said, if you're just joining us, I talk about all things diabetes, all type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, the blood sugar roller coaster. We talk about it all. We talk about weight loss. We talk about whatever you want to talk about in those categories, okay? Anything related to insulin resistance, well, I got you. My name is Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist. That's kind of how I get down. But let's get into it, folks. Let's find out where the folks are from, man. You're from South Texas. Okay, shout out to South Texas. I'm in Houston, Texas, man. Shout out to South Texas. Any other folks? Where are the other folks from? Where y'all from, folks? Ooh, Pittsburgh, man. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Shout out to Pittsburgh. See, any other places? Man. Well, let's get into it, though. Let's get into it. Like I said, if you're just joining us, my name's Kelley. Coming to you straight from the airways. How we doing, Cheryl? Coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Been here 11 years. Been in Texas now altogether for 14 years. A couple folks joined the room. So I talk about all things insulin resistance, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, getting off the glucose roller coaster. We answer all the questions. We answer all the questions on this live. And the questions are, is diabetes reversible? Is type 2 diabetes we're talking about? Or is it that something that you got to have for the rest of your life? Is type 2 diabetes something that you got to have? Is insulin resistance something that you got to have for the rest of your life? Well, that is the answer we're gonna uncover. But I'm gonna tell you what the answer is before you get going. The answer is no. It is not something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. Why? It's because we just proved it yesterday. That we had a call yesterday. Jazzy jumped on and she told her story. Her rags to riches story. But when it came to her health, when it came to her diabetes, she was taking all different types of medications, so many different medications that we couldn't even name them all. That's how many medications she took. And then she changed over a couple of things. She changed her lifestyle. And as a result, 2 weeks later, she goes back to the doctor and the doctor takes her off all of those medications. But she's been dealing with that for 10 years. So the answer is no, diabetes. And once you get insulin resistance, once you get diabetes, type 2 diabetes, it is very, very, very reversible. Same thing I did, same thing that you're going to do. So this is your story. This is going to be your story. We're going to rewrite your whole script. We're going to tear that script up today, and we're going to rewrite your script, folks. That's not going to be you. We're not going to be living with regret. We're not going to be living, 15, 20 years from now, wishing and hoping and praying that we would have done something about it. We would have fought back against this condition, because this condition it's a very, very challenging condition. It's a very, very serious condition. Most folks don't realize how serious this condition is. And then that's what we're going to uncover today on this live. We're going to find out how serious this condition is. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find out how to defeat this condition. All right. What is the work that you're going to have to do so that you can defeat this condition? That's it. That's what we're going to talk about, folks. So we'll get into your questions, and let me know if you got any questions before we get started. All right. Before we get started, throw your questions in the chat, man. I got you. Any questions that you have before we get into the board, because that's how it works. I'm going to get to the board, and class is going to be in session. But right now, we just started. So any questions before we get started? Any questions about insulin resistance, diabetes, any questions, anything you've been struggling with? Let's go. Any questions? Okay, no questions. No doubt about it. Well, let's get into it then. Who am I? My name's Kelley. Of course, I told you that. But what you don't know about me is a few years ago, I was actually in the worst shape of my life. Go to the doctor, and I became the very same doctor's visit. Let me know if you can relate to the story. The very same doctor's visit, I was diagnosed with having heart disease, being obese, and having diabetes, all at the very same doctor's visit. So the question is, who's ever been there before? Have you been there before where you go to that doctor, you dread going to the doctor because you know, like, hey, man, listen, I'm afraid of what my result's going to be? Have you ever been there before? That was me. All right. So very same doctor's visit. Heart disease, diabetes, obesity. That diagnosis hit me like a straight up ton of brick. The doctor comes in, you know what I mean? He gives me all of my diagnosis. Yeah, that diagnosis hit me like a ton of bricks. You know what it feels like to be there because you were there. You've been there. In that same, when you got your diagnosis, you felt that same thing that I felt. So I decided, you know what? It's time for change. And I took my health into my own hands. So the 14-day challenge, what is the 14-day challenge? 14-day challenge is for people who are ready for serious change. If you're ready to get off of that roller coaster, if it hurts to watch other people, live their life normally while you're, stuck and trapped behind your blood sugar, then it's time to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, where we are flipping the script on the whole game. Like I told you before, someone yesterday came in and said after 2 weeks, the doctor got them off their medication. The doctor took them off their medication. Why? Because they joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, where we're going to streamline your diet. 14 days we're going to go hard for 14 days. This is a blueprint that says, you follow that blueprint, the same blueprint that everybody else has done. Over 200 people have joined the challenge. You will get similar results that they got. Like I said yesterday, so the doctor, if you were here yesterday was crazy. Someone went in, they joined the 14-day challenge, and then the next day, not the next day, when they finished the challenge, before they went to the challenge, all types of medication. After the challenge, no medication in just 2 weeks. It's a real story. I'm in good shape. So that's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I'm in good shape. Lost 35 pounds down to 32-inch waist. Eat good, cheat a little, and take berberine. Okay, fantastic. Keep up the great work, Thomas. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I can't regulate. It seems that I'll always be over 140. The question is, that's called the Down phenomenon. That's what it's called. But it's due to insulin resistance, which we're going to talk about. Let's get ready to dive into insulin resistance, folks. When I was a kid, doctor used to roller coaster reference to describe blood sugar. Yeah. You got a good doctor when you were a kid, Jimmy. Talk about roller coaster. That's what we're going to talk about. This whole theme, we're going to talk about roller coasters. The whole theme of this live is about getting off the blood sugar roller coaster. That's what it's going to be about. Because here's the thing, folks. Now, let's get to it. I told you my story, how I had all those different conditions. But here's the thing I didn't tell you. I reversed all of that stuff. So no more diabetes, no more heart disease, and no more obesity. I reversed all of it. But here's the thing. If I can do it, why can't you do it? If I can do it, why can't you do it? Watch this. If I can do it, why can't you do it? If I can do that, you can. Let me switch it around, sorry. Do a little swicky. If I can do it, you can do it. Right? If someone yesterday got off of their medication, if someone yesterday in 2 weeks was taking off their medication, GLP-1s and all of that, okay? Everything, metformin, all of that, she was taken off by her doctor 2 weeks ago. Yesterday. She came on and told her story after 2 weeks of hanging out with me. Getting off the blood sugar roller coaster. So this is me, folks. Remember I told you I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with heart disease, obesity, and all of that stuff, the very same doctor's visit? It's not a game. That was me. Look at that. That was 2 weeks before my diagnosis. The one on the right with me, or the one here. 2 weeks before my diagnosis of diabetes, heart disease, and obesity I took this picture, folks. Does that story sound like you? Is that your story? You want to flip your script? You want to change your script? Is that what you want to do? 2? It's very, very possible. We can get you off. This is going to be your stop. After this live today, this is going to be your stop. You're like, well, what stop is that? On that roller coaster. We're not riding it anymore. Because when the years go by, 5 years, 10 years, and we look back like, hey, well, what's changed? Well, the only thing that has changed is your prescription. You don't want to live with that. You don't want to fast forward 5 years, 10 years, and 15, 20 years, and the only thing that's changed is they increase your prescription. They increase the dosage. That's not what you want. I know it's not. That would be regret. The definition of regret is, you know what it's doing? It's reminding you that you had a choice. That's what regret is. Regret is reminding you that you had a choice. And we're not going to regret anything, folks. We're going to tear up your script. And we're going to live your life. We're going to live that life totally different. That's what we're going to uncover today, folks. But the first thing is we're going to talk about this A1C. What are your thoughts on GLP-1s? Again, here's the thing. Like I told you, someone just came on yesterday and they were off their medication. We got them off their medication. She got herself off, but we just gave her a blueprint. I was prescribed medication, but I did not take the medication. Why did I not take the medication? It was my choice. Told you. That's what regret is. Regret is pain reminding you that you had a choice. So I didn't want to live with the pain of just taking medication. So I decided to take my health into my own hands. Lifestyle first. I decided to use my lifestyle as the medicine. That's what you're going to have to do. The only way you're going to get rid of this condition, the only way you're going to bring your blood sugar back into the normal range to get off the roller coaster is to go through a little bit of pain. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about. You're going to go through a little pain, you hang out with me for a little while. But at the end of it, at the end of this 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, you're going to know my thoughts on medication, okay? It's lifestyle first, medication second. Those are my thoughts on medication. Yes, that's my story. Whose story is that? Shorty, that's your story? That's your story, Shorty? Yeah. That's your story too. I know it. I know it. Good morning. What's up? I'm late. What's the challenge? We're talking about all things. We're talking about the challenge. We're going to talk about the challenge. I'm going to tell you how to join the challenge. You want to click the link in my bio to learn more about the challenge. click the link in my bio to learn more about the challenge. But first, we're going to talk about all things A1C, folks. And then we're going to dive deep into that challenge. I want to join. I'm like, what's the challenge? Again, the challenge is, it is a blueprint. It is a blueprint that says, hey, you want to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster? You want to get off the highs and the lows and that, man, I'm riding that roller coaster every day. My blood sugar high, my blood sugar's low, it's high, it's low, it's high, it's low. That's you. You want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, where it is a blueprint that says if you follow this blueprint and get in 14 days, I guarantee that your blood sugar will not look the same. Your blood sugar will be as close to the, if not in the normal range, within the normal, well within the normal range, or very, very close to that normal range. That's why it's called the reset. So it's a 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But it's only for people who are serious, though. It's only if you're not serious, then it's not going to be for you, because you're going to have to put in some work. But you got the blueprint. All you got to do is the work. That's the part that gets people, though, the work. So that's it. That's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Like I just said yesterday, someone just reported yesterday. We had them on live. They told their story that they were taken off their medication by the doctor. My mind is still blown. I couldn't even sleep last night thinking about that story. Okay? She came on and said before the challenge, before the 14-day challenge, she was on all different types of medication, GLP-1s included. GLP-1s included. The doctor took her off GLP-1s and metformin after hanging out with me for 14 days. After joining the challenge. That's a true story. And then the doctor took her off the doctor did, off her medication after doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. All right, the pictures that I showed you are my before and after pictures. It's not a game, folks. We're just cutting down to it. We're getting straight to the point when it comes to your blood sugar, to get you off of that roller coaster. So that's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about, folks. But let's get into it. We're getting ready to talk about all things A1C. All right, what's up? All right, see you later, Happy Tappy. My GLP-1 took my mind off of food, allowed me to work out 5 days a week, intermittent fast and low carbs. Okay. Folks, like I said, but if that works for you, okay, great. If you're okay with taking the GLP-1s, then I just want you to know that, that, hey, that works for you, works for you. But when it comes to a lifestyle, the long term, what happens when you stop taking the GLP-1? Ooh, man. But here it is, folks. Do me a favor, put the word A1C in the chat, because we're getting ready to talk about all things A1C. All things A1C. And we're going to talk more about the challenge here. Don't worry, Diana. Stick around with me. We're going to talk about, here it is, all things A1C, and then we're going to talk about how to fix the A1C. All right? That's the thing we're going to talk about. What is an A1C, and then how to fix it. Like, who's the villain that we're fighting? This is a villain. Okay? We got to defeat the villain. But how do we defeat the villain? Ooh, that's what we're going to find out today. My A1C in April was a 14. DKA worked hard and currently at 6.8. That's it. Hard work. Hard work. Audrey, that's it. Challenge accepted. Let's do it. My fasting blood sugar, my fasting glucose range is 125 to 135 without medication since I've been cutting out carbs. Okay, great. Fantastic. A1C, here it is. Let's do it. Let's do it. Want to get myself completely off meds. Tracy, did you hear the story yesterday? Were you here yesterday? If not, go watch the replay. Watch the replay on all the other socials. But it was crazy. That was the craziest story I ever heard in my life. You can have the same kind of story. You're taking you didn't get the meds, get prescribed the meds, all different types of meds she's on. GLP-1, metformin, some other ones we couldn't even pronounce the names. We were like, what? I don't remember. There was a lot of them. But anyhow, she did the challenge, and then 2 weeks later, she go back to the doctor, and the doctor took her off the medication. Like, it's a real story. A real story. All the medications done. Doctor's like, mind is blown. Why? It's because that's how quickly your body wants to heal. I'm about to leave and can't continue. I'm confused on how can I join. Click the link in my bio, right here. Click right here, and click on my picture again. It'll take you to my bio, right there. It'll take you to my bio. Right? Because we're getting ready to go to class. We do class, folks. Class is in session. Right here. Click right there. And there it is. There it is, folks. There's the quiz, the master class, the challenge. Everything is there, folks. It's like Disney World for it. If you're struggling with diabetes, folks, if you're struggling with insulin resistance, that link right there, that link that's in my bio, everything is there. Thank you for the daily heartening. Look at it. The quiz, I'm telling you, the quiz. Go take the quiz, folks. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. But right now, we're getting ready to get up to the board and we're getting ready to talk about all things A1C. While I'm getting the board ready, folks, take that quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take, right? Understand and learn your diabetes management style. That's where everything is. Quiz, masterclass, 14-day challenge. But let's get to the board right now. Let's get to it. Class is in session. All right, folks. Like I said, all things A1C. A couple of folks put that in the chat. We'll take the quiz, folks. We'll do all the goodies. There's a lot of goodies on my link, folks. We'll grab that link. Here we go. Class is getting ready to start. We got to find out how we get off the roller coaster. That's it. Like, that's the question. Like, how do we get off of this blood sugar roller coaster? Let me set this up over here. How do we get off of it? Well, there's a couple of things that we gotta do. There's a couple of things that we gotta understand first. And the first thing that we have to understand is, who are we fighting? And here's who we're fighting. Here's who we're fighting. We're fighting. Check this out. Who's ever gone to the doctor? Who's ever gone to the doctor, folks, and gotten their hemoglobin A1C checked? You're struggling with high blood sugar. It's a good chance if you've gotten this test done before. It's a very good chance of that, isn't it? So put a me in the chat if you've ever gotten that test done before. It's called the hemoglobin A1C. You want to find out where we are, folks. Want to find out where we are. Put a me in the chat if you've ever gotten this test done before. Throw a me in the chat, folks. Hemoglobin A1C test. All right, got a me. Got one me. Any other folks? Pre-diabetic, 5.9. Okay. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, me, Stephanie. Me last week. Yeah, 6.8. Okay. Any others? Let's see. Me. Okay. Me. All right. Couple of folks. 14.5 to 9.5 to 9.5. Okay, great. Couple of folks that have gone and gotten their hemoglobin A1C checked before. But let's dive into what this number actually really means. Who's ever gone to the doctor and they say, listen, you're anemic, you got low iron, you're anemic and you got low iron. If you've ever gone to the doctor and you've experienced that before, put a me in the chat as well. You've ever experienced that? Yeah, I do. Me, yeah. Me, couple of folks. And here's what's happening. It's why you're always tired. So you go in, you're anemic, you're tired. You got low iron, they say, you're tired. So what do you got to do? Well, you gotta get that number back up. If not, they're going to give you a blood transfusion because it's oxygen-rich blood. Hemoglobin, here it is, watch this. Hemoglobin is oxygen-rich blood, literally going through every cell of your body. So every cell of your body needs to be touched by hemoglobin. It's very, very important stuff. Like I said, folks, if you don't have enough of it, the doctors will give you a blood transfusion. Because that's how serious the stuff is. You can't go without oxygen-rich blood for more than like a minute. You ever tried to hold your breath or hold your breath? See how long you can hold your breath. See how long you can hold your breath. Every time, you can't hold it more than about 30, 45 seconds before you're like, whoo, whoo, you want to take a breath. That is hemoglobin, folks. A1C is how much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months. Over the past 3 months, how much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin? I'm trying to get the best camera angle over here. All right, I think that's better. How much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months? And it's indicated by the percent. I said stuck on purpose. I use that word stuck on purpose because it's very, very sticky stuff. That sugar is very, very sticky stuff. It's kind of like if you take a Jolly Rancher. You took a Jolly Rancher and you put it all over your hand and you put it in your mouth and it gets all sticky all over your hand. That's folks, is the stickiness. That's what's happening to your hemoglobin. This is important stuff, folks. Very, very important. Check it out. That number is indicated between 4 and 30. Sometimes it can go higher than 30, lower than 4 in some cases. It's a percent. So it's just a percent of sugar that's basically infecting your hemoglobin. Okay, so let's find out. Let's dig a little bit more into it. What does it mean, folks, when your A1C gets to a 5.7 to a 6.4? Who can tell me what it equals when you go to the doctor and you get your hemoglobin A1C test done and it's a 5.7 to a 6.4? And I'm going to get back to your questions. It's class time now, but I'll get back to your questions. Don't worry, I got you. Full diabetic, pre-diabetic, somebody said pre-diabetic, full diabetic. We got a couple of mixes. Pre-diabetic or full diabetic? What do you want to think? Pre-diabetic, pre-diabetic. Okay. Usually what? Usually at 900 and fasting. Okay. Pre-diabetes. All right, that's what it is. Pre-diabetes, folks. I want y'all to get an understanding of who it is that we're facing before we start diving into how to defeat them. I'm going to give you the tools to defeat them next. But right now, we got to find out who this villain is. And this villain, okay, we said that that's pre-diabetes, but what does that mean? Somebody said full diabetes, somebody said pre-diabetes, a bunch of different mixes of answers. But okay, well, let's play another game. Who can tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? Can you tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? Like, there's a lot of important hormones in the body, but the question is, which one is the most important, folks? Class is in session, folks. Which one is the most important? You got cortisol, you got adrenaline, you got all these different hormones, folks. Which one is the most important hormone? Ooh, glucose, okay, yeah, blood sugar, okay, all right. Let's see what else we got. Any other? My A1C is a 5.7. The thyroid, cortisol, somebody said. Oh, hormone? Yeah. Oh, hormone. Okay. Which one is the most important hormone? Like I said, there's which hormone? Insulin. Ooh, for men, it's testosterone. Laugh out loud. Yeah, insulin. Somebody says it's okay. That's it. Insulin. Why insulin? Well, because insulin is responsible. Why insulin? There's a lot of important hormones in the body, but the most important one is insulin. Why insulin? Why? It's because it basically controls everything. It touches every cell of your body. Every cell of your body, from the top of your head to the crown of your feet, is touched by insulin. kind of like if you ever watched The Lion King. And when Simba asked Mufasa, he said, hey, Dad, how much of this kingdom is ours? That's what he asked his dad, Mufasa. And Mufasa said, everything that the light touches, son, is our kingdom. Okay? You know the part of that movie. But anyhow, that's what insulin does. It touches every cell of your body. It is the master hormone that opens up your cells so that energy can come in. All energy. Energy, when we talk about for us men, erectile dysfunction and PCOS and all of that stuff is controlled by this master. If this master hormone is messed up, literally everything's messed up. Because it is that important. It's so important that if you're a type 1 diabetic, if you do not have it, you will not survive. If you do not have it, you will not survive. That is why they call it, and that is why it's called insulin dependent. It's called being insulin dependent. Because if they don't have it, they won't survive. So they have to take this injection for the rest of their life of insulin. Now, all the other hormones, you can live without all the other hormones. You might not have a great quality of life if you don't have enough, all the other hormones like testosterone and all that stuff. Your quality of life is not going to be great, but you'll still be around. But if you don't have insulin, you won't be around. That's how important this stuff is, folks. And this number right here, when you become a pre-diabetic, this says that you are becoming insulin resistant. And the insulin resistance has already begun, it just hasn't gotten bad yet. So it means that you're becoming resistant to the most important hormone in the body. The higher the percentage, the more insulin resistant you are becoming. So check it out. Let's up the ante. Again, it means you're already insulin resistant. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. That's what it means to be a pre-diabetic versus a full diabetic. All right, what does it mean when your A1C climbs to a 6.5 or higher? You got 7, your A1C is at 8, your A1C is at 9, your A1C is at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What does it mean, folks? We're up in the ante now. We're up in the ante. How we doing, folks, over here on this side? Tap in with me. We're finding out what the most important hormone is in the body right now. Ooh, diabetic. Somebody said a diabetic. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, any other guesses on what it means when your A1C is 6.5 or higher? Greater, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, let's see. See if we get any guesses. Ooh, type 2. Okay, I see type 2, diabetic, insulin dependent. Okay, insulin dependent, that's type 1. That's type 1. Now, depending on how bad you let your type 2 get, you know what I mean? Insulin resistant. Tested my blood sugar today at 115. Great. Okay, so we want to get a little bit lower, but that's okay. All right, let's break it down a little bit. We want to go 100. Hyperglycemia. Ooh, you use the fancy words. Yeah, it means that you're a type 2 diabetic, folks. It means that now you have diabetes, sorry. When your number gets to be above, 6.5, that means they classify you as having diabetes. But like, what does that mean though? To be classified as having diabetes, like what does that mean? Okay, well let's find out what this actually means. I'm going to tell you what it is first, and then we're going to talk about how to fix it. So let's sum up what this whole thing is, what it actually means to be a diabetic. If you're just joining us, folks, here it is. We said insulin is the most important hormone in the body. Why is insulin so important? It's because without it, your cells can't open. None of your cells can open up to say, hey, let the energy in from the food that you just ate. So therefore, you're always walking around tired, like, oh, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I got sugar cravings. You want to know why? It's because the energy can't get into the cells. Because you're insulin resistant. Your body is resisting the most important hormone in the body. And the higher the number is, you go to 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The higher the percent of sugar, right here, you said it right here, the higher the percent of sugar, your A1C, how much sugar is stuck. Keyword stuck, sugar, nasty stuff. Jolly Rancher, think of Jolly Rancher on your finger. Ugh, nasty stuff. Imagine that all being stuck to your hemoglobin. So the higher the percentages, the more insulin resistant you are. Which insulin is the most important hormone in the body. That cannot be a good thing. The higher the percentages, it literally means this. The higher the percentage of sugar that's stuck to your hemoglobin, remember what we said hemoglobin was? If you're just joining us, hemoglobin is your life force. It is, every time you breathe, hemoglobin is in full effect. Every time you breathe, insulin is in full effect. Because it goes to every cell of your body. So that is oxygen-rich blood. So that's what a hemoglobin A1C is, folks. It's how much red blood cells, healthy red blood cells, do you have? And that percentage, what percentage is infected? So it literally means this, and let's break it down even further. It literally means that the higher the percentages, the higher A1C, it means the sugar is literally choking the life out of you. That is what it means to have a high hemoglobin A1C, like I had. Yes, the code is still freedom. The code is still freedom. That is what it means, folks. So I'm hoping this is making sense to y'all, folks. Because here's what it means. You can bring your number back here. Look, you can bring your number back, watch, to the ideal range. People are like, well, what's the ideal range? 4.9, 5.3. That's the ideal range, folks. 4.9 to 5.3. But the question is, how do you get it there? How do you get it to 4.9 to 5.3? But if this is making sense to y'all, folks, put a health yes in the chat. Because I want y'all to really get a grasp of who it is that we're fighting. It means that your cells are glycating. You can knock that sugar off your cells, and you can bring your numbers back to the ideal range. And when you bring the numbers back to the ideal range, guess what? Now you're adding life. Now you're adding life back to your life. You're adding years back to your life. Literally. That's what it means. It's why people leave here 20 years too soon. They leave here 20 years too soon because they had too much sugar stuck to their hemoglobin for a lifetime. And as a result, the sugar literally choked them out, choked their cells out. 20 years too soon. So let's not live like that, folks. We can do something about this. We can do something about this. But to do it, folks, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get out of our comfort zone. All right? Yeah, what's so confusing? All the different answers and opinions. That's what it is. That's very confusing, folks. That's very confusing. But we're going to clean that up. So here it is, folks. Now the next question is this. I just want to make sure that you put a health yes in the comments, folks. If this is making sense to y'all on what it means to have a high A1C. If it doesn't make sense, trust me, I can break it down even simpler. Okay? I can make it work even simpler. I'm trying really hard to get my numbers down. And down with exercise and lifestyle changes. Currently at 7.8. I got you. Uma, we get ready to talk about it right now. We get ready to talk about it right now. Yes. Oh yeah. The code for the challenge is freedom. Freedom is the code. What's up, confusion? Yep. All the different companions. Yep. While you explain it, I understand. That's it. Okay. Now, folks, put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you said that I want to change this. I want to change this. Here's what I want y'all to do. The very first step to changing this, folks, and then we're going to talk about how to fix this thing next. The very first step is this. Here's the very first step, is to click the link in my bio and register for that quiz. Go take the quiz so that you can understand and learn your diabetes management style. It is a free quiz that you can take to understand and learn your style of diabetes management, right? Specifically type 2. But diabetes in general, your lifestyle in general, type 1 as well. You take the quiz also. And here it is. So you want to click right up here, click on my picture, and then click on my picture again. And then here you go. It's going to come to this right here. This link right here. So over here on my other socials as well. So you click that link in my description, and then it's going to take you to something that looks just like this. Here it is. Here's all the goodies. Yeah, folks, this link is like Disney World for a diabetic. So if you've been struggling with insulin resistance, if you've been struggling with, all these chronic health conditions like I talked about, the ones that are all erectile dysfunction, everything related to insulin resistance, here's what you want. First thing is to do is take the quiz. It's a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Go take it. Take that quiz. Take you 2 minutes. That's all it's going to take you. It's going to tell you if you've been doing a great job managing this number, or if you need some work, right? If you need some work like I did. Like, see, look, I needed some work. I needed some work, folks. Okay? I needed some work. So these are the quiz. It's the difference between the ant and the grasshopper. So go take the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand your style. Next thing, folks. What's on here? A lot of goodies. Next thing is this. It's all free stuff, folks. The masterclass, absolutely free. It's a 45-minute masterclass that you can take so that you can break down the formula. The formula I'm getting ready to break down right now is a 45-minute class that you can take. It is absolutely free, folks. All you got to do is pay attention. I'm going to break down that lifestyle medicine formula. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, and effective sleep. Those are the 4 areas that we got to use to defeat type 2 diabetes, folks. To defeat our villain. And then finally we got the challenge, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Now the challenge is only for people who are serious about serious change. So those are some of the goodies on there, folks. Those are the goodies on there. So it's a quiz. Go take that quiz. Tell them it's a 2-minute quiz that you can take to find out where you stand. You've been doing a great job. You've been, slacking a little bit. Where are you? So this is the part of the live, folks. This is the part of the live. Oh yeah, sorry. Everything is free on the page except for the challenge. The challenge is not free, right? Everything is free. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. Everything is free. The challenge, I got to charge you for it because there's serious people getting serious results. But you use today's discount code FREEDOM. You're joining the challenge. You're joining the challenge at a discounted rate. So that's the live rate. You'll see all of that stuff there, but everything's free though. But the quiz is free. The masterclass is free. Man, go soak up all of that stuff. It's a grab bag of stuff. All right, now the next thing is, now that we've established earlier what we're fighting, here's what you're going to have to do to fix it, folks. Here's what you're going to have to do to fix it. You want to get off of these meds? You want to get your life back? Here's what you're going to have to do. Maintain, I can't spell today. Maintain your pace. P-A-C-E. This, folks, is the most neglected form of healing that there is. This is the most neglected form of healing that there is. Shout out to you, Annie. I know you were from was reading your book that you can reverse diabetes. Yeah. Someone read my book that you can reverse diabetes. Yes, you can. You can do that. And here's how you do it. Okay? Here is how you do it. Get your notepad, folks, ready. The most neglected form of healing is this. It's called lifestyle medicine. Why? It's because it gets you outside of your comfort zone. It's like we would rather stay inside of our comfort zone so much, folks, that I read a book one time. Here's the book I read. And it's called Change or Die. It is literally the name of the book. Change or Die. It says 9 in 10 people would rather die than change. That is one of the craziest stats I've ever. And when I read that book, I'm like, whoa. It's because we want to stay inside of our comfort zone. Now, people aren't going to say, like, hey, I would rather, lose my life. I'd rather play around with that A1C number, like that number, A1C, like we talked about. I'd rather take that number for granted. They're not going to say that. But what they are going to say is their actions will tell you exactly what's going to happen. These are the meds that you have to prescribe yourself. These are the actions that you're going to have to take. This is the only way, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, this is the only way that you're going to get rid of that diabetes. You got your insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. This is the only way that you're going to get off of the roller coaster. The roller coaster we talked about, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the only way that you're going to really get off of it is to face it. I can't prescribe you this medication. The doctor can't prescribe you this medication. The only person that can prescribe you this medication is you. The P, first part of it. First part of the lifestyle medicine formula. You've ever had plans of getting your life back? If you're tired of watching other people, just eat whatever they want, you just go to the barbecue and eat whatever they want, do whatever they want, this is what you're going to have to master. Peaceful mind. First part of the formula. Cortisol. Stress. Cortisol and stress will set you way back. All right? It's going to set you way back. Here's why. When you're chronically stressed, you're constantly releasing blood sugar. The more stressed you are, the more blood sugar you are releasing. You're like, well, what does that mean, Kelley? The more blood sugar you're releasing. Well, here's why. It's because when you're stressed, your body goes into fight or flight mode. And fight or flight mode means like you're ready to fight a tiger, you're ready to fight a bear, you're ready to fight a lion, like that Mufasa that I talked about earlier from the Lion King. You get ready to fight Mufasa. So you need a surge of adrenaline, you need a surge of cortisol. And then what that's going to do is going to release stored blood sugar from your liver. Your liver will release stored blood sugar at that point to give you the quick energy so that you can fight Mufasa, so that you can fight the lion. But check it out. Also, where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. So where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. I want you to remember that little rhyme. So when you're chronically stressed, you're constantly releasing stored blood sugar, you're constantly releasing insulin, and it's just a domino effect. It's just stress will ruin everything. Okay? So, but here's what you got to learn about stress. Is you cannot control the outside environment. You can't control the weather. Like, who's getting on your nerves? Is your mom getting on your nerves? Your dad getting on your nerves? Your mother-in-law getting on? Who's getting on your? Are your kids getting on your nerves? Is the traffic getting on your nerves? Who's getting on your nerves? to do that. I mean, you gotta get these things under control. Like you gotta cut some ties. You're gonna have to have some serious conversations with some folks. You gotta have some serious conversations. Let's talk, man. You know what I'm saying? You're stressing me out. Is the traffic stressing me out? You can't control any of that. But here's what you can control. You can control your thoughts. You can control your actions. You can control your reactions. That is the first part of it, folks. Having a peaceful mind. Here's what I recommend. Write this one down. Jot this one down, folks. It's called the 3 M's. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Those are the 3 M's when it comes to stress management. Meditation, mindfulness, and meet with your daggone therapist. 3 things that you gotta master. If you ever want to get off of that glucose roller, get off of that blood sugar roller coaster. The next part of the formula. Woo, the most dreaded part of the formula. This is the stuff that you're gonna have to prescribe yourself. And most people are like, I'm not prescribing myself that, Kelley. No way. Am I prescribing myself that? And what is that? Oh yeah, an active body. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You're like, well, what's 30 minutes? What's moderate intensive movement, Kelley? Well, moderate intensive movement is this. Think of it like this. If you're on a treadmill, it means that you can talk, but you can't sing. That's what moderate intensive movement is. Okay? A lot of people ask me, like, yo, Kelley, is it possible to be allergic to activity, Kelley? People really ask me that. Is it possible to be allergic to activity? And the answer is like, nah, come on, bro. That's been part of our prescription for a very, very long time. But we often fail to cash in on it. You want to know why? Because we want to stay inside of our comfort zone. But what stands in the way becomes the way. Our comfort zone is standing in the way. So it becomes the way. We got to get outside of our comfort zone. And do this to change your lifestyle is not easy, folks. To get out and say, you know what, I got to start having peaceful mind practices. You know what, I got to start getting out and being active. That's hard. The reason that being active is so amazing for people who are struggling with high blood sugar, here's why. It's because high blood sugar and muscles are like a match made in heaven. Whenever you move your body, whenever you're moving your muscles, especially after you eat, guess what happens? All of that blood sugar that you just ate, all of it from the food that you just ate, when you move in your body, the muscles are soaking it up. They're like a match made in heaven. Muscles are hungry. And you're like, well, what? They hungry for the same stuff that you have too much of. So if you're suffering from insulin resistance, folks, blood sugar is hungry. Muscles are hungry for the same stuff that you have too much of. Blood sugar. That's why it's important. That's why you got to get out there 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. It's got to be part of your prescription that only you can write for yourself. People who move their body tend to live longer. People who move their body tend to live longer. They tend to have a lower A1C. That A1C we talked about earlier, the ideal range. How do you get there? How do you get to this number? This is what we're talking about, 4.9 to 5.3, right? That's what everybody said they want to do. Everybody said they want to get to this ideal range. Everybody said that they need help. You need help getting to this ideal range. But here's the help. Here's the only help you got to be able to help yourself. It's the only help. Because like I said, I can't prescribe you this medication. The doctor can't prescribe you this medication. "30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement." Go hang out with your kids. Boom. Go go power drive your kids. You know what I'm saying? WWE style your kids or something. Just be active. Play frisbee with the dog. Go stomp in the yard with your girlfriends. Go walking around the neighborhood. A brisk walk around the neighborhood. Something. Get out and be active. Because when human beings were invented, there was no Netflix. There was no Netflix when when the first human being walked the planet. There were no Netflix. So with that being said, they had to go out and do stuff. It's been part of our prescription for a million years, I'm telling you. But we often fail to cash in on it. Because we want to stay inside of our comfort zone. We got to get out of there. Get out of the comfort zone. Get out of our safety zone. Clean eating is the next one. Now this one, folks, this is maintaining your pace. Ooh, when you maintain your pace, folks, this clean eating, man, which somebody's getting ready to do because they joined the 14-day challenge. So they joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. So we're getting ready to introduce them to clean eating. So congratulations. Your life is never going to be the same again. We're getting you off of that roller coaster. Congratulations. They joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use the discount code FREEDOM. But back to it. Clean eating. Very, very controversial topic. How controversial? Why is it so controversial? It's because it's very, very personal. Eating is very, very, very personal. It's very personal. It's just like politics and religion. It's very, very personal. So that's why I don't tell folks what to eat anymore. Like I used to be like, eat this, no, eat that, eat this, eat that, no, just eat this way. No, I don't do it. I don't tell anybody what to eat anymore because I realize how how crazy folks can get about what they eat. Like people will literally bite your head off about what they eat. It's like an endless debate. So I just say, here's my version of clean eating. Here's my version of clean eating. So it's clean, whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Eat whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. All right. So what does that mean? Well, eat a diet filled with fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, beans, whatever sources of protein sources that you choose. So whether that's chicken, whether that's turkey, whether that's beef, whether that's fish, whether it's tofu or tempeh. Just make sure it's the leaner sources. Just make sure it's the leaner sources. Stuff we're not talking about is clean eating. Here's when I say clean eating, here's what I'm not talking about. Not talking about hot dogs. These are processed meats. Hot dogs and all the stuff in the middle aisles. When you see all the stuff in the middle aisles, like the tricks and the Fruit Loops and all of that stuff and all of the cereal in there, that's not clean eating, folks. That's called ultra processed foods. Ultra processed foods. Or things like bacon, things like salami, things like pepperoni, hot dogs, like I said. Don't be competing against Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest. For my folks who know who Joey Chestnut is, on the 4th of July, this guy's the king of hot dog eating. Don't compete against Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest, folks. Okay? Because those are group 1 carcinogens. That's why you don't want to eat processed meat. But we're going to dive deeper into clean eating. We're going to get more into clean eating in a little bit. Don't worry about it. We're going to fly through that. But basically, clean eating is clean, whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. Real food. Something that was grown from a grain. Something that was, grown. Something that once had dirt on it. Leaner sources of protein: chicken, turkey, ham. I mean, not ham, no ham. Sorry, I didn't even say ham. No ham. Okay, but chicken, turkey, fish, tofu, tempeh. Those are leaner sources. We're gonna fly through that one, but again, clean eating. That's what it is, folks. Because we're gonna come back to that. You're right, Annie. Nothing grows in your comfort zone, right? Nothing grows in your comfort zone. Because here's the thing, folks. Here's the stuff that you gotta do. Like, your comfort zone is a beautiful place. Your comfort zone is a very beautiful place. But the only thing that grows there is regret. You don't master these areas right here. If you don't maintain your pace, the chances of you making it to that ideal range are very, very slim. The ideal range, the ideal A1C, we're talking A1C now, right? How do you bring the A1C down? Everybody wants to know how to bring it down. And how do you keep it down? Forever. Like mine. Like I told you, I had diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. I don't have any of those anymore. That was 4 or 5 years ago. No more obesity, no more diabetes, no more heart disease. Why? Because I've been maintaining my pace ever since then. And now when I go to the doctor, my number still stays in this ideal range 4 years later. It's because I'm maintaining my pace. AKA, you gotta do the work. The last part. The last part of it is this, folks. The most important part that most people will neglect. Will neglect this part for the sake of entertainment. You want to know what it is? Any guesses on what it is? Put it in the chat. Any guesses on what it is, on what the E stands for? Effective. Effective what, folks? To maintain the last part of the maintaining your pace, to get your number back to the ideal range, you got to have a peaceful mind. We talked about that. You got to have an active body. You got to clean eating. You got to have effective what? Ooh. Ooh. That's it. That's it, folks. Sleep. Effective sleep. Yeah, rest. I wish people knew how important it is to have an effective sleep. Or the lack thereof of effective sleep. If you don't have effective sleep, I wish people knew how important that was, especially when they're battling insulin resistance, especially when they're battling diabetes. Because having the six to 9 hours of effective sleep, that's the number. 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep every single day or every single night. If you don't get that, you're going to throw everything off. Sleep will destroy everything. You could be working out you could be working out great. You could be eating well. Let's just say you're working out and you're eating well. If you're not getting an effective sleep, here's what happens when you sleep. Your body recovers. Your body restarts itself. Your body reboots itself. Your brain this is where most of the energy goes when you sleep. It goes to your brain. That's why you have like vivid dreams and all types of stuff when you're sleeping. All of the blood wants to go to your brain to restart it so you can wake up the next day and be feeling like sharp, feeling 100%, not foggy headed, none of that stuff. It's when your muscles recover. It's even when, folks, here's how important sleep is. That's how you lose weight. You want to know how you saw the pictures when I lost all the weight? The weight that, the weight that I lost when I was obese. You want to know where the weight went, where the weight goes it goes away when you sleep. It leaves through your CO2 at night. So when you breathe out, that's where the weight goes. Who would have thought it? If you do not get effective sleep, the very next day you're going to be more insulin resistant. The very next day. Check it out. Watch this. Here's how you can be more insulin resistant the very next day, because you did not get enough effective sleep. These things can cancel each other out. Watch this. If you're not getting effective sleep, let's just say you're getting a lot of terrible sleep, like, oh man, I can't sleep. I'm always up at the ceiling. I'm always up looking at the ceiling at night, waking up wondering if diabetes is going to steal my future. Do you know that feeling? I know that feeling. Do you know that feeling? Just staying up at night just wondering, like, man, is this condition going to take my future away from me? Effective sleep. Poor sleep. You gotta get it. It's a stressor. Poor sleep will stress you out. So what do we say? What happens when you get a stressor? The peaceful mind. So when there's a lack of sleep, it's a stressor to the body. Therefore, you're not going to have a peaceful mind, because when stress comes, the peaceful mind is out the window. There's no more peaceful mind. And what happens when you get stressed? Remember we said earlier, cortisol, adrenaline, blood sugar. Didn't we say that? Cortisol, adrenaline, blood sugar. And where blood sugar goes, where else goes? Insulin follows. Where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. So it's a domino effect, folks. It's a domino effect. One will cancel the others out. I'm telling you, you could be working out, you could be eating, you could be doing all the good stuff right here, A and C. But if you're not getting E, or if your P's messed up, if you're letting everything stress you out in the world, everything in the world has stressed you out. You're just a worry wart. That's what we call, a worry wart. Someone who just worries constantly, like, oh my God. They're just worried constantly. It's called a worry wart. They just worry about everything. People worry. It's normal to worry. It's normal to worry about your kids and everything. But when you're a worry wart, man, they just worry all the time. You gotta have a peaceful mind. Register for the masterclass, folks. This is where I break down all of these conditions. I give you tactics in each of these conditions. Register for that masterclass, folks. Here's all this stuff ties together. I break all this stuff down in the masterclass. It's a free masterclass as well. It's called Unlock Your Diabetes Freedom. That link is in my bio. But all of this stuff, maintaining your pace, is a big loop. You see how I got that? You see how I got it? Look at that. Maintaining your pace. Here's how you get your numbers. People are like, hey, I need help. Kelley, help me. How can I help? How can you help me, Kelley? Well, how can I get off my medicine, Kelley? How can I get my life back, Kelley? These are the questions that I get. And when I tell them what it is, most people are like, man, it sounded good. But when it comes to actually doing that work, that's work, Kelley. That's work. Is there a different way? Can I take the easy way? Can I take the blue pill? Can I just take this medication and watch Netflix forever and it will go away? The insulin resistance, I can get off my meds. If I just take medication for the rest of for the next 5 years, is it possible in 5 years that I'll get off the medications if I continue to do what I've been doing? And the answer to that is going to be no. No, you're not going to. Here's your only way through. Everything that you want and don't have is literally on the other side of something hard. If you want to get off the blood sugar roller coaster, you say, yeah, Kelley, I want to get off the blood sugar roller coaster, man. I'm ready to get off of that roller coaster, Greg. This is my stop. I've been saying for a long time, like I've been telling all my friends, I've been telling all my family, I've been telling everybody that I'm so tired of this, taking these meds, I'm this, I'm that, I'm ready. That's what I've been saying. But as the years go by, we look forward. 1 year go by, 2 years go by, 3 years go by, 4 years, 5 years go by, 6, 7 years go by, 8 years, 9, 10 years go by, and we're still saying the same thing. And then nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is our prescription. They gave us a stronger prescription. You hang out with me for 2 weeks. If you're ready to get off of that roller coaster, if you can't remember the last time you just felt real energy just running through your body, you join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Well, we're gonna get your number, maybe not in 14 days, but we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get you off of that roller coaster for sure, and bring your blood sugar back into the normal range. So this is it, folks. This is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do the work. Last part of the formula gets an honorable mention. This is the work that you're gonna have to do, folks. And I hate to be the one to break it to you. Well, but the only way you're gonna get to this ideal range and keep it there is if you maintain that pace. The last one that gets an honorable mention is called substance abuse. Substance abuse, like what do you mean substance abuse? Like alcohol and medications. So alcohol, folks, is not your friend. Alcohol it's not your friend. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, folks, alcohol is not your friend. I just want to be clear and clear it all up. Like, drink alcohol, what kind of alcohol? Beer, red wine, whatever. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, folks, alcohol is not your friend. It's not. There's certain medications like, steroids that could cause the insulin resistance as well. So that all goes into play. So this is how you gotta do it, folks. This is how you get rid of type 2 diabetes. This is how you make yourself more insulin sensitive. This is the only way that you're gonna do it. This is the work that you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to show up. People are gonna be like, well, can I do this? Can I do that? What about this? What about that? And you're like, no. Here's how you get this done. Is you show up, you do the work, and you do it again tomorrow. Well, what's the work, Kelley? This is the work. You show up, you do the work, this right here, and it just keeps going in a circle. It keeps going. It keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. Until one day you go back to the doctor, just like Jazzy did yesterday. She hung out with me for 2 weeks. She joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And in 2 weeks, before the challenge, she was on all different types of medications. GLP-1, you name it. It was the most amazing story I've ever heard. Metformin, all of that stuff. So many others, she couldn't even name the other ones that she's taking. She joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Hung out with me for 14 days. She goes back to the doctor again. Guess what happened? Most miraculous thing. The doctor took her off of all of her medications. All of them. For insulin resistance. Which the high blood sugar, her doctor took her off all of her medications. Why? It's because she followed a proven blueprint. It's the blueprint. You show up, you do the work, you do it again tomorrow. Your story will be just like hers. Most amazing story I've ever heard. I'm telling you, I'll probably tell that story forever. That's the most amazing story I've ever heard. She's been battling diabetes for 10 years, and the doctor took her off her medication after just 2 weeks. The doctor did. All because she maintained her pace. We went hard on the C, clean eating. If you're ready, if that's you, if you're ready for change, folks, if you're ready to accept the challenge, like a couple of folks have done this morning, they've already accepted the challenge. Here it is. I'm going to show you where all the goodies are. But if this is making sense to y'all, first question I want y'all to answer, if this is making sense to y'all and what the work is that you have to do, I want you to put up health yes, in the chat if you know exactly what it is that you got to do today. Put a health yes in the chat. Let's see. Put a health yes in the chat. And then we're going to get back to these questions. I want change. Yes. Health, yes. That's what we do around here. We say health, yes. Yeah, there it is. Health, yes. You understand the work that it is. You got to show up every day. You got to show up. You got to do the work. And then you got to do it again the next day. And when the time gets tough and when life starts lifing, like a life will life, when life starts lifing, you got to maintain your pace even harder. Here's how you do it. Here's where the formula is. So it's a free masterclass, folks. It's absolutely free. So click right up here, and then click on my picture again. So my folks over here on my other socials as well, just click that link in my bio. You click that link in my bio, you'll see it in my description. Click right here. Here's where all the goodies are, folks. Here's where all the goodies are. There's a quiz, a 2-minute quiz that you can take. Go take that quiz, folks. That very first one, the quiz. Go take the quiz. It is a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Right? And then what else? The master class right here. What we just went over. Everybody said that they're good with what they got to do. But if you want to dive deeper into this formula, folks, this is a master class that I put on for you. See, look, I'm the orchestra. You see, I'm leading it. I'm orchestrating it. You see that? That's me orchestrating it. Well, what we're doing, what you're going to learn in this master class, you're going to learn a whole bunch of goodies. You're going to learn that peaceful mind act. You're going to learn that peaceful mind formula. You're going to learn tactics in peaceful mind. I'm going to give you tactics of what you can do to have a peaceful mind, to start bringing your stress down. Activity. Right? I'm going to dive deeper into activity. Clean eating. I'm going to dive deeper into the clean eating. Give you more tactics. And then the effective sleep. Woo! That, folks, the effective sleep one, oh man, sleep hygiene is so important. I'm telling you, watch this masterclass. Register for it. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is pay attention. That's all you got to do is pay attention. It's a masterclass. Right here. Absolutely free of charge. 45 minutes, folks. And then there's a PDF as well. There's a whole bunch. I'm telling you, folks, it's like Disney World for diabetic. The reason I created it is because I know a thing or two about diabetes. Because I was a diabetic. I did have heart disease and I was obese. So the quiz, the masterclass, and finally, folks, for my action takers, for my people who are ready for real change. If you were ready for real change, if you've gotten to the point where change isn't just desired, like it's downright necessary. Change isn't desired, it's downright necessary. Here's the thing. Here's the thing I want you to know. Here's the thing. Here's one of my favorite quotes. And it goes like this. Every person has 2 lives. But the second life begins when you realize that you only have 1 life. This is for my people who realize that they only have 1 life. They're ready for change. Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Everything is free on the page. Everything is free. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. The only thing that's not free is the challenge. Got to charge before the challenge because there's real people getting real results, like the story I just told you. Okay? Now, it's $99 to join the challenge. But if you use the discount code, today's discount code, the live discount code is FREEDOM. FREEDOM is the live discount code. It's right over here. And I'm going to show everybody, I'm going to show this camera again as well. FREEDOM is the live discount code if you want to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you're over here, click that link in my description, and then you'll see everything there. The quiz, the masterclass, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and all the goodies are there. That's where everything is. That's where you register. Masterclass is right there. All right, and then the challenge. Again, the challenge is for people who are ready to get off of that roller coaster. If that's you, If you got to the point where you tried everything, I'm like, you tried everything, but nothing has worked, and you starting to believe like you stuck it, like I'm stuck like this forever, man. No. If that's you, then you need to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and prove yourself wrong. You'll prove yourself wrong when you join this challenge. It's $99 to join the challenge, but if you use the discount code FREEDOM, that is the discount code FREEDOM, because that's what we're gonna free you. That's what we're gonna do. Freedom. We're gonna free you. You're gonna free yourself, actually. You're gonna free yourself. This is the work you're gonna have to do, folks. Now let's get to these questions. Let's get to these questions. I want change. All right, here we go. I want change. But don't be. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Pin it. Let's see my moderator. Can you pin it, moderator? Can you pin the comment, moderator, over there on my big screen over there? Help. Help. Yeah. Oh, health. Yes. No, not help yet. Health. Yes. What do I have to do? Very first thing to do is click that link in my bio and start registering for stuff. Register for the quiz, the master class, all that stuff. I'm new. I'm ready. Help with my health. Yes. All right. Stick around. I got you, Miss Marcel. Stick around. Hang out. We're going back to class. We're going back to the master class in a little bit. I'm not diabetic, but I want to learn how to eat better. You can join the challenge as well. But I do want to learn how to eat better. Now, the challenge is very, very specific. Yeah, you're going to learn how to eat better, but if you're suffering from that, if you're on that roller coaster, the challenge is for people who are on that roller coaster. But you stick around, you hang out with me, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of helpful hints, helpful tips. Let's see here. Everybody has 2 likes. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, any questions? Let's see if any questions. No questions. Okay. All right. The discount code is FREEDOM. Join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Yes, over there. FREEDOM. Do you have a plan for type 1 diabetes? Type 1 diabetes included. You can join the 14-day challenge as well. Because the point is this. You want to make yourself more insulin sensitive. Though you cannot get rid of insulin, though you cannot get rid of type 1 diabetes, is an autoimmune condition that will stay there for the rest of your life. One thing that you can do is you can control your lifestyle. You can make yourself so insulin sensitive that it's like, it's not even like your life is totally changing. All because now you're more insulin sensitive. You don't have to use as much insulin as you once did. Imagine how that's going to feel. So that's what it is, folks. That's what it means to be insulin sensitive. What's the verdict on fruits? I was told they have they are bad for your blood sugar. Thank you for asking that, because we're going to talk about clean eating coming up next. That's the next topic, clean eating, which we're going to talk about. So if there's no more questions on the work that you have to do, we're going to flip gears and we're going to start diving deep into clean eating, folks. Any questions over here? Quiz and masterclass are free. Y'all, absolutely. Found it. There it is. All right, my guy Annie, you found it. All right. But yeah, the verdict on fruit is, like I said, we're going to talk about clean eating right now. I'm going to give you a quick answer, Ellie. You want to eat fruit as a dessert. There's no good fruit, good sugar, bad sugar, whatever. You want to eat fruit as a dessert. Eat fruit in its whole natural form. Eat it in its whole form. Don't juice it. Don't juice the fruit. Eat your fruit. If you juice the fruit, then guess what you're doing now? Now you are took all the fiber out of it. There's no more fiber. All that's left is the sugar. So it's all sugar, no chaser. That's all it is. All sugar, no chaser at that point. So clean eating. Let's dive into that. Do me a favor, folks. This is an interactive game. I love to play. This is a game of clean eating because we're going to be on clean eating for a while. Because a lot of people ask a lot of questions about clean eating. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get into it. Do me a favor, folks. When the doctor tells you, or when somebody tells you that you got to go to the doctor, and when you go to the doctor and they say you got to lose some weight, you gotta lose some weight. But to lose this weight, we need you to count those calories. We need you to weigh that food. We need you to put it up on a scale. Who enjoys that? Matter of fact, who hates doing that? Who hates when they say, we need you to lose some weight. We need you to drop 50, but to do that, we got to count the calories, man. We got to weigh the food. We got to do all of that. Who hates that? Put a me in the chat. Let's see. Put a me in the chat. Ooh. Thank you for the heart you. I heart you as well. Me. Trudy says me. Me. Who else hates it? Ooh, somebody else hates it. Ooh, a couple of folks hate it. Man. Why? Me. Dorothy hates it. Why? Yeah, why? Why? Because it's tedious. But what if there were a different way? What if there were a way you could say, you know what? I can lose this. There's a better way to lose this weight, or there's a better way to maintain my blood sugar. Because we're diving deep into it now. We're talking about clean eating, folks. This is the work. This whole live, we'll be here until for another 2 hours or so. But this whole live is about the work that you're going to have to do. This is the work that you're going to have to show up. Remember I said earlier, show up, do the work, you do it again the next day. Show up, do the work, and do it again the next day. Yeah, exactly, Ellie. You don't have time for all of that. Hey, Sister Brown, I see you, no doubt. We're going to talk about juicing. We're going to dive into it. But check it out. 50%. What if there were a different way? Instead of doing all that calories, and you could live your life a whole lot freer. You can live your life a whole lot freer than worrying about counting calories, weighing your food, it being awkward. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't want to count it. You're out hanging out with friends and family, you're at a barbecue, you're at a cookout or whatever, and you over there kind of like counting calories and stuff. You know what I mean? Everybody over there eating birthday cake, you're over there counting calories. Who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying? Clean eating. Don't worry. I'm going to get back to your questions. Clean eating. Don't worry. I'm going to get back to your questions. I'm going to get back to it all. We're building our plate right now. But what if there were a different way? This is the way I've been eating, folks, for the last 4 years. People look at me like, hey, why, Kelley, you ain't gained the weight back. Why haven't you gained the weight back, man? Like, people are shocked. They're amazed. Like, bro, why didn't you gain the weight back? Because that's what most people do. We gain our weight back. We lose the weight, gain the weight. Lose the weight, gain the weight. Lose the weight, gain the weight. So when people see me now, 4 years later, they're like, bro, why are you still... What? It's because I've been maintaining my pace. Remember we talked about that? Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. Here's the kind of clean eating I've been doing. And here's the kind of clean eating I suggest for you. Non-starchy veggies, 50% of your plate. How much? 50%. Right? Could be more, could be less. We'll talk about that. We can play around with the ratios. But non-starchy veggies. carrots, onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, broccoli, arugula, cauliflower, spinach, asparagus. These are non-starchy veggies. There's a whole list of these things. But when you go to your search, just put in non-starchy. Give me a list of non-starchy veggies. And you'll see all the non-starchy veggies there. But these are some of them. Cucumbers, celery. These are non-starchy veggies. Right? Peas. We'll talk about peas. Peas are in a different category. We'll talk about those categories as well. But non-starchy veggies. 50% of your plate. Check it out. Okay. Now we're going to up the ante. Now we're going to go to the other side. We're filling our plate. Protein and fats. Now, 25% proteins and fats. Now, this is where it starts to get fun. Protein. So whatever your favorite protein source is. Again, I tell you, I don't tell people what protein source to eat. I used to be like, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, eat that, don't eat this. I don't do that anymore. Here's what I do recommend though. Make sure it's the leaner sources of protein. So whatever the protein sources is that you eat, so whether it's chicken, whether it's turkey, whether it's a beef, whether it's steak, eggs, fish, salmon, tofu, tempeh for my plant-based folks. Tofu and tempeh. Whatever it is that you eat, whatever it is that you choose, just make sure it's the leaner sources of protein, not the processed meats. Like everybody's favorite, right? Everybody hates when I say this one. But it's bacon, folks. Bacon is not clean eating. People love bacon. There's two things that people tell me. When it comes to clean eating, they say, hey, Kelley, I'm not giving up bacon and I'm not giving up, cheese. Those are the other two. Bacon and cheese. Well, bacon and cheese are in the processed meat area. Those are processed. Bacon, cheese, no cheese is not a meat. You know what I'm saying? Bacon, sausage, salami, even turkey bacon, folks. Even turkey bacon. Appreciate the follow. Even turkey bacon. Those are called processed meats. Those are group 1 carcinogens. And if you don't know what a group 1 carcinogen is, just look it up. You'll see exactly what I mean when I say a group 1 carcinogen. So again, proteins. Whatever your favorite one is, chicken, turkey, eggs, salmon, tofu, tempeh, whatever works for you. And fats. What kind of fats? Healthy fats. Things like avocados, nuts and seeds. The 3 oils, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. If it's not any of these 3 oils, please throw them out, folks. Just go to your pantry right now and please throw them out. So if it's not avocado oil, if it's not coconut oil, if it's not olive oil, please throw it out, okay? Those are called industrial seed oils. You don't want those. Industrials, not even the name sounds crazy. Industrial seed oils. You don't want those. Okay? Throw canola oil, throw it all out now. Hopefully today's trash day where you live and dump it in the trash. Avocado, coconut, olive. Those are the only 3 oils. All right, so that's fats. Next is carbs. Here's how we're building our plate, watch. And then where does it go? Fruit. Fruit is its own category. Fruit is its own category. And I'm going to put a down arrow. Fruit and carbs. The reason I put a down arrow is because it's a very, very specific rule. Now, what kind of carbohydrates are we talking about? Complex carbohydrates. It could be things like rice. Well, what type of rice? Well, whatever kind of rice that you like, just making sure we're following a very, very specific rule. So it could be white rice, brown rice, whatever your favorite rice is, brown rice, black rice, whatever. You don't have to live your life with that kind of restrictions anymore. But here's how you do have to live your life. You do have to live your life when it comes to this plate. in a very, very specific way. Now, do you have to eat like this all the time? Do you have to be 100% perfect? You don't have to be 100% perfect. No. It's about what you do most of the time that matters the most. I'm going to say that again. What you do most of the time matters the most. So, carbs, okay, white rice, black, whatever kind of rice you want. So, things like quinoa, farro, pasta. So whatever pasta, prefer you do the single ingredient pastas. Like you do pasta, those things like chickpea pasta or lentil pasta. Chickpea or lentil pasta. Not the old school pasta, the wheat pasta, the one that you take and you throw it against the wall. You throw it and see if it sticks against the wall. That's not the kind of pasta that we're talking about here. We always do the poll. Which way do you prefer your pasta, your spaghetti? Do you prefer your spaghetti with the sauce on the side and you make the sauce by itself? Or do you take the noodles and the sauce and you mix them together in your spaghetti? Which one are you? Are you a separator or are you a combiner? Do you separate your noodles or do you combine them? Okay, which one do you do? Which one? Throw it in the chat. I don't do pasta. Okay? Great. Which one do you separate it? What y'all do over here? Y'all separate it or do you combine it? Ooh, I separate mine. There it is. Somebody said they're separated. Ooh, last time I ate blood sugar was something. What? Yeah. Mix it all together with meatballs. Combine it. Combine it. Okay. The combining is winning today. Typically it's the separator. The separators usually win, but today it's the combiners. Go figure. But that's what I'm saying about carbs, folks. Have whatever kind of carbs you want. Just make sure you're making the smarter choices. We're doing whole, unprocessed carbs. Like I said, things like farro and brown rice, black rice, things like that. Quinoa. You never have farro, F-A-R-R-O, farro. Woo, amazing stuff. And you never eat rice again. You prefer farro over the rice. So that's it, folks. This is part one of the clean eating plate. We're gonna come back to this, but oh yeah, fruit. Let me get the fruit. What kind of fruit? Low glycemic fruit, preferably. We're talking about keeping our blood sugar low, keeping our blood sugar in normal range, keeping our weight where we want it to be. Berries like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, all these different types of berries. Kiwis, apples, right? These are stuff we can eat. But it's going to be a very, very specific rule. We're going to come back. We're going to circle back to this rule. It's going to make sense here in a little bit. Here it is, folks. Check this out. You can you can make your life so simple and maintain your weight, like I've been saying, that you can go get yourself one of these plates. Look at that. That's called a clean eating plate. We talk about clean eating. This, folks, you can get yourself a clean eating plate. Look. Does that not look familiar? Look at that. Does that not look familiar? Look at that. Boom. Aha. Does that not look familiar? Look at that. Boom. You can go get yourself, you can make your life so simple. Whenever you go to the barbecue, whenever you go to the hangout or wherever you're going, instead of pulling out your phone to count calories, here's what you can do instead. You can bring your plate. You can bring your plate with you. And when you bring your plate with you, guess what? Now, you ain't got to worry about all of that. You don't have to worry about people like, oh man, why you're the oddball, you counting calories, that's weird. That's awkward, that's weird. But like, man, but you can be like, I'm so serious about my health that I don't count calories, but what I am doing is I'm bringing my plate. And this, folks, look how deep this plate is. It's called the clean eating plate. This is the best plate I've seen, and it's wide. This is the best one I've seen. Now, I've seen some plates out there. There's some little small rinky-dink plates. Like, where did you get that plate, man? No wonder you're still hungry. No wonder. No wonder. Clean eating plate. You can get one of these out of my TikTok showcase. In TikTok, you're in TikTok, you can get one of these out of my showcase. One of my TikTok, it's called the clean eating plate. You can make your life so simple. Check it. And these things are not even, they're made out of straw. They're made out of straw. Real flexible. They're not even made out of plastic, straw. Okay? You can make your life so simple, watch it. You can come home one day and you be like, honey, instead of 50% veg, I'm not feeling the veggies today. I want less veggies, a little bit less fiber today, okay? But today, what I'd like is more protein. So you can start playing a game. This is what I teach my clients. You can start playing a game, watch. You can flip your board. You can flip your board and say, I want more protein this meal. You can flip it to 50% protein. So instead of 25% protein, now you're 50% protein. Now you're 25% veggies. You brought your veggies down. You kept your carbs the same. Carbohydrates, your potatoes and all that, right? Kept that the same. Or one day you may come in, you be like, you know what? Instead of more protein, I want to eliminate the carbohydrates today. You say, you know what? I want to eliminate the rices and the pastas and all that stuff. Today for dinner, folks, all I'm having is a protein and some non-starchy veggies. I'm having something like chicken and broccoli and an avocado. That's gonna be my dinner tonight. You know, chicken, broccoli, avocado, or steak and avocado and bell peppers or something, or a tofu scramble. Be a tofu scramble with some spinach on the side, with some nuts and seeds or an avocado. You feel what I'm saying? This is how you play around with the board. It could be 50. You can bring the carbs down. Here's the only rule. We talk about this carbohydrate rule. You can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up. You can go down, but you can't go up. You can go down. I'll say it again, but you can't go up. You know, what do you mean by that? When you're looking at your board, when you're looking at your plate, right? You got your 25% over here, carbs. You can decrease the amount of carbs that you have. So you can go 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%, but you cannot increase it. You cannot go above 25%. But you can go down. That's the rule. You can change all these other percentages. You can change the percentage of veggies. You can change the percentage of fats and proteins to higher percentages. But when it comes to the carbohydrate, the only rule is you can go down, but you can't go up. That's it. There's more rules to it, but that's one of the main rules. So this is part one, folks. Part one of the clean eating plate. We're building our plate right now. But if this is making sense to y'all, this is part one. I tell you, we're gonna get to your questions on the clean, whatever questions you got, we're getting ready to get to them. So this is making sense to y'all, folks. Put a healthy yes in the chat, and then I'm gonna get to your questions. Any questions that you got on clean eating, we're gonna get to it. But we're building our plate right now, and then we're gonna get into the questions by the end. Man, this board is gonna be all marked up. Man, we're gonna be a fun master class today. But listen, folks, if you've gotten to the point where you need help with this, you're like, man, I need help with this, Kelley. I'm at that point where I'm on that blood sugar roller coaster, and I need help with kickstarting my health and getting off the roller coaster, man, because I've been on that blood sugar. My blood sugar has been too high for so long. I'm tired of the neuropathy. If that's you, if that's the way you've been feeling, you need help. Like, Kelley, I need help. If that's you, you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What a lot of people have, over 200 people have joined this challenge. This is the help you need. The help you've been asking for is the help here. The help is right here. Go no further. Because we just had a call yesterday with somebody, literally, after joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, they were off. The doctor took them off of their medication. all their medication. The doctor did this. This is the most amazing story. Go back and listen to the replay. The most amazing story I've ever heard in my life. All right. So this is making sense. Put a health yes. Let's see. Well, you can do starchy veggies. Let's go. You can do starchy veggies. Starchy veggies can go down here. As long as you obey the rule, starchy veggies can go over here. Yeah, you can do like I said, potatoes. You can do acorn squash, butternut squash. Yeah, you go there. Apples. Apples are gonna go in the fruit. Remember, fruit is a you eat fruit as a dessert. That's it. Well, people are like, well, what about the fruit? Okay, well, the fruit as a dessert. Think of fruit going forward as a dessert. You wouldn't wake up in the morning and eat Nacho Mama's banana pudding for breakfast, would you? No, you wouldn't do that. Okay, you wouldn't do that. So don't eat fruit for breakfast, folks. You can eat fruit, but eat it for, here's the very specific order. When it comes to fruit, thank you for asking that. And then we're going to get back to your questions. 1, 2, 3. That's the order in which you eat your food. And we're going to talk about that, why we eat that last. We're going to dive more into that in a little bit. But let's get back to these questions. See if we got any questions over here. Health, yes. Yeah, any questions over there? Yep. What about mango and banana? Again, when it comes to mango, when it comes to the fruit, you can have any fruit that you want. This is a very lenient section. You just got to obey these rules. We're going to talk more about this rule, but you cannot eat fruit on an empty stomach. You cannot eat naked fruit. So whether it be mango, whether it be strawberries, blueberries, do not eat it on an empty stomach, basically. That's what it means to eat naked fruit. Do not eat it on an empty stomach. You want to make sure that you have some fiber and some protein in your stomach first. It's called clothing. That's why the order of the food is very important, folks. Number 1, veggies first. Number 2 is your proteins and fats. Why is that very important? Because you just put some clothing on your carbs, clothing on your fruit. You're not eating naked fruit. Don't eat naked fruit, folks. I grew up in Florida. And this is a story I like to tell. I just, started telling this story because I just thought of it this week. But check it out. When I say naked fruit, growing up in Florida, there was a nudist colony, right? On the way to school, it is a nudist colony. Like, people are not wearing clothes behind that brick wall. It is a brick wall. It's called Cypress Cove Nudist Colony. Look it up. It's in Florida. It's where I grew up. But I say all that to say, if those folks wanted to come out into the real world, the first thing that they'd have to do is they'd have to put some clothing on. They'd have to put some clothing on, even though they live in a world where things are naked. They have to put some clothing on to come out into the real world. So that is what I want you to think of every time you think of carbohydrates and fruit. Don't eat naked carbs and don't eat naked fruit. I want you to think about that story that I just told you. That is the story that I want you to think about. Every time you grab a piece of fruit, is this fruit naked? All right. Every time you're about to eat that watermelon, is this fruit naked? Every time you're about to eat that, mango, is this fruit naked? Is this coming out? No, you don't want to eat it naked. Put some clothing on it first. What the discount code is, freedom. For the challenge, the discount code is freedom. That is the discount code to Worship 757. The discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is freedom. Here we go. Let's get back to these questions. I got a lot of questions. I love the questions. I love the Q&A time. I love the Q&A. I took my A1C from a 7.9 to a My last 2 tests were 5.4. How can I lower it? Well, here it starts here. And if you missed it earlier, we talked about maintaining our pace. This is what this live is all about. This is all the stuff that we're doing, all the stuff that we're talking about is everything that you have to do when it comes to how to lower that number. Everything. So that's why I'm on here for 4 hours. It's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to change your lifestyle. You're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone. You're going to have to do things that you never thought that you wanted to do. And you're like, I don't want to do that, Kelley. No. Well, you're going to have to. If you want to get off, if you want to get your life back, if you want to get the neuropathy to go away, if you want to bring your blurred vision back, if you want to get off of that glucose roller coaster, you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar's high, you're going to have to do the work. That's it. Thank you kindly for saying that. That's a fantastic shirt. What are starchy veggies? Starchy veggies are things like potatoes. Like I said, potatoes, acorn squash, butternut squash. Those are starchy veggies. All right? All the squashes. Yeah, discount code is freedom. Blood pressure, same thing. Same thing when it comes to blood pressure, folks. You got to maintain your pace. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating. We got this clean eating plate that we're talking about, we're building right now. That's it. You're going to have to master the art of clean eating. It's going to start bringing your blood pressure down as well. I was told to eat fruit on an empty stomach. Why? Oh my God, who told you that? No. This is what I say to that. What I say to that. This is what I say to that. No. No. No fruit on an empty stomach. I don't know who told you that, but here's what's going to happen. Especially if you're suffering from insulin resistance and you do fruit on an empty stomach, things like a banana, it's going to send your blood sugar real high. You're going to be on a roller coaster. I'm going to take y'all on that roller coaster ride. I'm going to show you what I mean by that roller coaster. And I'm here in a little bit. We're going to talk about that next. Being on that blood sugar roller coaster. My biggest problem is I only eat once a day. Oh man, why eat once a day? Discount code is freedom. Worship 757. Okay? It's freedom. I like that. I was wondering about that order I eat them things. Yeah, the order you eat. The order you eat the food is very important. You get yourself one of these plates, you can make yourself your life a whole lot easier. Go get yourself a plate. Do one of my TikTok showcase. What you mean you put clothes on the fruit? You put clothing on the fruit, meaning that don't eat naked fruit. That's the question. What is clothing? There's a little clarification. Clothing is, when I say naked fruit, that means don't wake up in the morning like someone was asking, hey, somebody said I should eat fruit on an empty stomach. No, that's being eating it naked. You don't have any protection. It's naked. It's out there by itself. The fruit is out there in the streets by itself. Very vulnerable. So what happens when you eat fruit by itself is there's no protection. There's no resistance. It's just going to go straight into your blood sugar fast. It's going to go into your blood sugar real fast. And as a result, if you're already suffering from insulin resistance, your blood sugar is going to go real high. But if you got some clothing on it, clothing is this. Pairing it with a healthy fat like an avocado, or protein like chicken breast, that'll work, or some tofu, something like a salad, a side salad, or some veggies like a broccoli, for some fiber. So you put all this stuff in your stomach first. It's basically like coating. Instead of clothing, it's like a coating. You put this coating or protective armor around your food. So whenever you eat the carbs now, whenever you eat the bananas, whenever you eat the mangoes, whenever you eat the watermelon, whenever you eat the grapes, whenever you eat that, now you've got some protection. Now you've got some clothing on. Now the carbs are not naked. You remember I said about a nudist column? I grew up into a nudist column. Okay? When those people go out into the world, they have to put on the clothing first. It's the same thing when it comes to your food. When it comes to your fruit. when it comes to your carbs. I know it's a something that grabs you out of it, like, man, I can't eat food. Like, you got to grasp your mind around it. So I'm going to keep on saying it. Put some clothing on it first so it sticks. My biggest problem is I only eat once a day. Okay. If you are fasting on a fasting diet, what should you use to break the fast? Right? Like we just talked about. That's a good question. What should we use to break our fast? Very good question. Shout out to somebody that's getting the challenge. They're doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. They are ready to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster. Shout out to them for joining that challenge. But fasting, here's the thing about fasting. You want to train your body to fast. So when we talk about breakfast, make sure your breakfast is this: 1 and 2. This is what you focus on breakfast. Only sections 1 and 2. We're not eating section 3 for breakfast. We're not. Okay? What's section 3 do? Section 3 is where all my carbohydrates are. If you start your day off with a savory breakfast, it's called a savory breakfast. This is what you break your fast with, a savory breakfast. What is that? A healthy fat and a healthy protein and some veggies. Again, the example could be again, chicken and broccoli, or salmon and spinach. You got some salmon. You got yourself a salad, and then you got yourself an avocado. It's called a savory breakfast. See, egg and spinach. There you go. That's another one. Eggs. That's another savory breakfast. Eggs for the fats and the protein, and then boom, the spinach. So you know what that's going to do? A savory breakfast. It's going to make your blood sugar stay nice and steady all day. It's going to get the cruising altitude, and you go. Cruising altitude. You're like, well, what's cruising altitude like this? Whenever you eat a savory breakfast, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about this. An airplane. Would you rather be on an airplane or would you rather be on a rocket? When you eat a savory breakfast, you're on an airplane. You're taking off like this. Your blood sugar is going to go like this. Real slow. You eat the savory breakfast. Here's what's going to happen to your blood sugar. You eat that chicken and broccoli and the avocado for breakfast, your blood sugar is going to start off just like on that runway. And it's going to take off and it's going to gradually grow. It's going to gradually get there. And then it's going to get the cruising altitude, and then once it gets to cruising altitude, it's going to go. And then you know those planes, they go like 600 miles an hour. Where I can get from Houston, where I live, to Atlanta in like 2 hours. Because the plane is moving. Got a lot of energy. And it's the same thing that's going to happen to you. You start your day off with a savory breakfast every morning, it's going to be nice, clean energy throughout the day. And instead of 3 o'clock, having that 3 o'clock crash, you know how that 3 o'clock crash? Instead of having that 3 o'clock crash, here's what's going to happen. Woo! You're still going to be at cruising altitude. And you know what happens when you're at cruising altitude? You're going like 600 miles an hour. That means that you still got a lot of energy. No more 3 p.m. crashes. Who would have thunk it? No more 3 p.m. crashes. All because you started your day off with a savory breakfast. You let that thing get to cruising altitude, and then it brought it back down slowly. You got to bring it back down slowly. In the evening time, you bring it back down slowly, and you let those wheels touch. And there you go. You're in for the day. But on the other hand, if you eat a sweet breakfast, folks, here's what's going to happen. I told you I grew up in Florida. And when you eat a sweet breakfast in the morning, things like Honey Nut Cheerios and all that stuff, you eat all that stuff in the morning. Mom's pancakes. My mom used to make the most amazing pancakes. Syrup, all that stuff. Honey, all of that stuff. But like I said, I grew up in Florida. And one of the things that we used to get a kick out of when I was a kid is to watch the space shuttle take off. The space shuttle, when you've seen the space shuttle on TV, well, we get the experience in real life in Florida. And they got the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've seen the shuttle. It goes straight up. And it is moving. When I tell you to break the Earth's atmosphere, that thing got to be moving, rocket fuel. You wake up in the morning, you eat some oatmeal with some brown sugar, you just gave yourself some rocket fuel. You wake up in the morning, you eat some tricks. You eat some tricks, especially on that. You eat some tricks. With all the milk and all that stuff, and you serve like all this. You just drink all the milk at the end, and it's so sweet. Or you eat a toast and jelly, toast and jam for breakfast. 2 pieces of toast. You're just giving yourself rocket fuel. You're putting yourself on a blood sugar roller coaster. That's what you're doing, folks. So that is why you do not eat the carbs by themselves. You have to put some clothing on these carbs first before you eat those. So never eat the carbs for breakfast, folks. And especially do not eat them by itself. Don't eat it by itself, especially. Don't eat naked carbs. Don't eat naked fruit. So that's it, folks. What about nuts and cashews right here? This is part 1. We're breaking this thing down. That's making sense to y'all, folks? Or you're going to be on that, do me a favor, folks, put it in the chat. Are you going to be on that plane or are you going to be on that rocket? Which one are you going to be on, the plane or the rocket? Put it in there. Which, in the morning time, which would you rather be on? Would you rather be on that plane, nice, sustained energy, or would you be on that rocket? Yeah. That plane. The plane. Yeah. You want to be on that airplane. Yeah, you want to be on that plane. Because you get nice sustained energy. What do you recommend for breakfast? Come on, bro. What do you mean? We just finished breakfast. You must have just joined us. All right, check it out, folks. I'll be back here in a minute. I'm going to go take a little break. I'm going to go to the little boys' room. I'll be back. But don't go anywhere, because when we're coming back, we're going to finish this clean eating plate, because I know y'all got a lot of questions about clean eating. So get your questions ready. All things clean eating, all right? If I missed your question, put it in again. Sorry about that. Put it in again. I'm going to try to get to it. All right? No, and you do not want to be on the rocket. You might have missed the analogy. You want to be on that plane. Okay? You want to be on that plane. But I'll be back. In the meantime, folks, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass. Go get all the goodies from the page. There's a lot of goodies on the page, folks. Go get all. Go get them all. Check it out. And I'll be back. I'm going to talk more things, all things clean eating when I come back. You didn't answer my question. What's your question? I told you I can't get them all. There's a lot of questions that come in. I try to get them all, but I can't get them all the time. I ain't doing it on purpose. But here we go. Appreciate that. Right here. If you're over here as well, click that link in my description. And when you click that link in my description, it's going to take you to a link. Here's all the goodies, folks. Right here, look. The quiz, here's where all the goodies are. There's a link. Click that link and you'll see something that looks like this. I'm pointing you in the right direction. I tell people it's like Disney World for diabetic. You're suffering from insulin resistance. If you've been on that blood sugar roller coaster for many, many, many years, if that's you, if you've gotten to the point where you're tired, you're ready for change, this link is where you need to be. All the goodies are there. The free quiz. Go take the quiz. That quiz, what is that quiz? To understand and learn your diabetes management style. Take that quiz. The masterclass. Go take the masterclass right here. Go register for the masterclass. It is a free masterclass that you can register for. It's 45 minutes. It's put on by me. I'm going to give you tactics in each of the areas. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. It's absolutely free, folks. All you got to do is pay attention. The masterclass. That's it. Just pay attention. That's all you got to do. Check it out. And then finally, for my action takers. Now, the challenge is not for everybody. The one and only right there. That's the challenge. It's not for everybody. All right? A few people have joined this morning, but it's not for everybody. It's only for people who are ready to take control of their blood sugar. If you've gotten to the point where, like I said before, where you tried everything, but nothing has worked, and you keep feeling that you're gonna be stuck this way forever. Like, man, I'm gonna be stuck this way forever. I'm gonna have diabetes for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have type 2 diabetes for the rest of my life. If that's you, then you need to experience the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and prove yourself wrong. That's the person that you need to prove that wrong to, is yourself. Because check it out, if so many other people have done it, just like Jazzy did yesterday, if so many other people have done it, why can't you do it? You want to join the challenge, folks, you use that discount code, FREEDOM. Again, everything is free on the page, except for the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I gotta change you for that, charge you for that, because I can't give it to you for free. Okay? Because there's real people getting real results. Now, if I give it to you for free, you're not gonna value it. All right? So use that discount code of FREEDOM. You're joining the challenge for not $99, but $79. You're doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is 2 weeks. This 2 weeks. You hang out with me for 2 weeks, and it will change your life. I promise you it will. In 2 weeks. You show up, you do the work, you do it again tomorrow, you will get the results. That's it, folks. I'll be back in a minute. Register for all the goodies. I'll be back. We're going to talk all things clean eating. I'm going to finish it up when I come back. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. All right, folks, we're back. Okay, so anybody take the quiz while I was gone. It's a 2-minute quiz that you can take. Understand your style. Here we go. Let's get back to that clean eating. Any questions? Did I miss any questions while we were going? I didn't answer my question. I only eat turkey and beef. Okay, what about only eat? Is eating 3 times a week okay? No, that is not okay. Eating 3 times a week is not okay. All right, that's why are you eating 3 times a week? That's not okay. 3 times, like, I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, that's hardcore there. Why do we have to pay to join? You don't have to pay to join. To join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you do, but because there's real people that are getting real results. But everything's free on my page. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. It's a free masterclass that I'm giving away. It's 45-minute masterclass. You watch this masterclass. You implement what's on it. You implement what I'm saying to do. You'll get the results. But then here's the thing. A lot of people I'll give them the knowledge. Like I'm giving you all this knowledge. I give you the knowledge. But then usually when people start to do it, they'll do it for like maybe a week or so, and then it'll start getting challenging and confusing, and the life starts getting in the way and all that stuff. And then they would have went back and be like, man, I wish I would have just hired that guy to do it to help me do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said the challenge is not for everybody. The reason I got to charge you for the challenge is because if I give it to you for free, you won't value it. You'll be like, Kelley gave me this thing for free, so what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. When it gets hard, I'm probably not going to do it. But it's real people getting real results. So when people pay, they pay attention. When people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. So that's why it's $99 to join the challenge. But if you use the discount code FREEDOM, you're joining the challenge for $79. That is to give you a guide, to have a tour guide and say, What do I need to do? Oh yeah, where's the blueprint? Oh yeah, show up, do this every day, do this. Okay, got it. Everything's mapped out for you. So that is why we got to charge you for the challenge, folks. But everything other than that, go grab all the other stuff. The quiz, the master class, you name it. It's all free. So I just woke up eating watermelon and eggs. What you think? The eggs are okay. The watermelon, no. Like we talked about. What we said about, if you just joined us, what we say? Section 3, no. Section 3. I was eating steak 3 times a week, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay. If you want to do steak 3 times a week, right? Yeah, that's okay. If that's your protein of choice, sure. That's your protein of choice. If you're eating 3 days a week, you should feel amazing. If you are eating the right food, you could pull it off. Some people could pull it off if they're metabolically flexible. Yeah, some people could pull it off. Right? But you're gonna be lacking a whole lot of nutrients though. You probably I wouldn't sustain that. I wouldn't keep that sustainable. You know what I mean? You can do that and what would be the reason that you need to do that would be the question. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get to the next one. Let's start digging more into this clean eating plate, folks. The next part of it is, what category is next? The next category is the beans. That's the next category. The beans. Well, what kind of beans? Red beans, black beans, cannellini beans, pinto beans. Somebody asked about some peas, I think, earlier. These are the beans that we're talking about. Red beans, black beans, the dry beans. Preferably the dry beans. People are like, well, what about canned beans? Yeah, you can do the canned beans, but preferably we want you to get those dry beans. Why? It's because beans are a superfood, basically. They are a resistant starch. Well, what the hell is a resistant starch, Kelly? Well, a resistant starch is whenever you eat the food, it resists digestion. Like you cannot digest the food. You cannot digest it. It's a resistant starch. What is it resistant? Digestion. This is what beans are doing. So whenever you eat beans, you cannot digest them. You ever wonder why when you eat beans and you start getting gassy and all kinds of stuff? Like, whoa! Start getting bloating and all that stuff, maybe. Some people start getting that. Why? It's because these beans, when you eat them, and they go through your small intestines, they start going through your small intestines. At that point, they're supposed to be getting digested. Like your body's supposed to start the digestion process on these things. But beans are resistant starch, so they go all the way through your intestines undigested. So you're like, that can't be a good thing, Kelley. Why would I want to eat some stuff that can't be digested? Well, here's why. It's because when it gets to your large intestines, right before it leaves your body, you know what I mean? Right before right before it leaves your body, you know what I'm talking about. It goes to your gut bacteria. In your gut bacteria will eat the fiber. You can't digest the fiber, but you can't digest the beans, but your gut, it loves the fiber. So all of that bacteria, it will eat up all of that fiber. So while it's eating, just think of this, all those gut bugs, while they're eating, on the outside, the side effect is you're getting gassy. So while the fiber, or you're getting all that new fiber that you never had before in your stomach, all that fiber, your gut bugs are eating it. But here's the thing, sometimes you don't have the right population of gut bugs to eat the fiber. So as a result, you get gassy, you get tummy aches, like, oh, I got tummy aches, I got gas, I got bloating. Yeah, you get all of that stuff because you're not used to all of the fiber. That's all it is. That's all it is. So you got to go through the fire. Thank you for the daily heartbeat. Whenever you eat beans, you get tummy aches and all that stuff. You got to go through Yeah, but you get tummy aches and gas and all that stuff. Yeah, that's just a part of it. That's a part of the phase. You got to go through the fire first. To be able to eat beans again, if you can't eat beans, you got to be able to go through the fire. Because check it out. The same fire that melts butter, it also hardens steel. The same fire that melts butter also hardens steel. The question is, which one are you? Are you butter or are you steel? Yeah, it's gonna suck if you try to start eating beans if you don't eat and veggies again if you don't eat fiber. Yeah. It's gonna suck. But you just gotta stick it out. And when you stick it out and those gut bugs start to turn over, you start to populate new gut bacteria, you start feeling better, the gas starts to go away, the bloating starts to go away, all that stuff starts to go away. All because you went through the fire. You turned yourself into freaking steel, the man of steel, Superman, instead of butter. Because they go through the same fire. Beans. It's a superfood. But another thing about beans. Beans are great. You can eat the beans with the veggies and the proteins and all that stuff. You can eat it with that. But here's the thing. And the proteins and the fats. But here's the thing. You can't, a cardinal rule. Here's another rule, folks. It's a cardinal sin. Okay? You cannot eat beans. You can eat beans, but you cannot eat beans and rice together. You cannot eat, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, you cannot eat beans and rice together. That's another rule, folks. Now, if you're metabolically flexible, if you could fast, if you could do all that stuff, great. Great. But if you're suffering from insulin resistance, eating beans and rice should be in the category like alcohol. Remember I said alcohol? No alcohol, okay? Put the alcohol away. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, put the alcohol away. It is not your friend. Beans and rice together are not your friend if you are struggling from insulin resistance. Because now you just combine the wrong teams together. It's kind of like combining Batman and the Joker. Would Batman and the Joker ever join teams together? Would they ever be on the same side? Okay? They wouldn't be. Because they're mortal enemies. And it's the same thing with carbs. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, beans and rice are going to be your mortal enemy. Beans and rice together. Beans and other potatoes. Beans and potatoes, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, is going to be your mortal enemy. Okay? Let's not do that. Why? Because like I said, it's going to send your blood sugar. It's going to give your blood sugar rocket fuel. It's going to make your blood sugar go real, real high. Rocket fuel. Because beans are resistant starch, but when you do it with the carbohydrates, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, it's going to give your body too much glucose too quickly. It's going to give it to it too fast. It's going to basically override the power of the beans, and it's going to go up a little bit higher than what you want. Like I thought beans were great. Beans are great, but if you combine them with the section 3 over here, when they come together, it's going to make your blood sugar go way higher than what you want. So that's why. So no beans and rice together, folks. Let's not do that. Now here we go. It all circles back around. It all circles back around. So no beans and rice together. All circling back around. Number one, get your plate. Here's how we sum clean eating up, folks. Tell you clean eating is a lot. Here's how we built our plate. We're talking about getting our numbers back to our A1C back. We're talking about lowering our A1C. We're talking about losing weight. We're talking about staying healthy. Because you got to master this clean eating plate. You got to master this clean eating plate. Like I said, get yourself one of these plates. Get yourself one of these plates. It's a clean eating plate. The size of this plate, it's a very, very good plate. It's very, very, and people are like, well, how much should I use? How much should I fill my plate, Kelley? Well, you fill your plate till you get here, right? All the way. See where it stops? You see that? You see where it stops? That's how much you fill on your plate. So we're not stacking like, oh, can I stack my plate, Kelley? Let me stack it. You said I can stay, as long as I stay within the parameters, right? As long as I stay within that, I can stack my plate, right? No, we're not stacking the plate. You're trying to manipulate the rules. These things are deep. You feel it as it is deep. You eat this way, folks. You play around with this board. You start playing a game of chess. Now, this is not easy. A lot of stuff I told you, it's not easy stuff. This is real life stuff. This is what I help people with in real life. Real life stuff. We don't go over this in the challenge. In the challenge, it's a very streamlined approach. In the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, it is a very streamlined approach, meaning that it's like boot camp. It's boot camp for your blood sugar. Everybody's going to do the same stuff. It's a proven formula. Now, once you finish the 14 days, okay, great. Once you finish the 14 days, we can start playing around with this board. That's why it's a mandatory. If you want to hang out with me, it's mandatory for you to get yourself one of these clean eating plates. It's mandatory. Because everything that we're going to do, every strategy that I'm going to teach you, if you hang out with me for a little while, is going to be based on that plate. Every one of them. After you get out of the reset, after you get out for 14 days of hanging out with me, everything that I'm going to tell you is going to be related to that clean eating plate. And then that's when the real transformation begins, folks. So this is it. Like I said, folks, I know this stuff is not easy. This is not easy stuff. It may seem simple. We did a lot of talk about clean eating plate. But it's not easy. I'm telling you, it can drive you crazy. All right. So that's making sense to y'all. Put a health yes in the chat, and we're getting ready to put a button on clean eating. And we're gonna go to another topic. All right. But if that's making sense to y'all, put a health yes in the chat. Is it normal for protein to make you hungry? No, it's usually the opposite. Protein normally makes you satiated, right? All right. Are you eating the protein by itself, or are you eating it with a bunch of carbs and fruit? It depends, but no, typically not. It's the opposite. What kind of beans are best? Green beans, pinto beans, black beans, navy. Whatever beans work for you. It could be pinto beans, it could be black beans, it could be navy beans, it could be cannellini beans. Whatever beans work for you, boss. Whatever works for you. Just try to get the dry beans. All right. Make your own beans. Quite welcome. That's it. That's it for clean eating. Here's this thing, folks. If you're struggling with this, if you need help with this, you're like, Kelley, listen, man. That's me, bro. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. I tried everything. I don't know what else to do anymore. I feel exhausted every time I stick in my finger, man. I stick my finger with it and I feel exhausted, and I wake up in the morning and I dread going to take that meter and see my numbers all high. If that's you, if you've been struggling that way for many, many years, and you've been on that blood sugar roller coaster, if that's you, then today is going to be the day that you're stopped. There's a reason that you came to my live today. It's because of that stop. This is your stop. You're getting off of the roller coaster. There's no more highs, no more lows, no more highs, no more lows, none of that. None of that. You joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here it is. If that's you. If you say, Kelley, if you've been raising your hand for a long time and nobody has ever helped you, you like, I'm helped, Kelley. Then you say, I'm helped, Kelley, I'm drowning, I need help. If that's you saying that, if that's you right now saying, I need help. I'm letting you know that this is the place that you need to stop. And like, your answer is here. This is it. This is why you came to my live today, for a reason. Couple of things on my page. Click right up here and then click on my picture again. Couple of things on my page. There's the quiz and then there's the masterclass. Quiz, masterclass challenge. Quiz, masterclass challenge. Everything's free. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. Everything is free except for the challenge. Like I said before, if that's you, if you got to the point where You wake up at night, I'm telling you, you're sleeping at night, and you're looking up at the ceiling, wondering if diabetes will stole your future. You're wondering if they're going to amputate. You're wondering if you're going to lose your vision. If that's you, then you should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here it is, right here. Right over here as well. Accept the challenge. You accept the challenge. Here it is, everything that you get. Now, it's $99 to join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But I promise you, you hang out with me for 2 weeks, your life will never be the same again. You hang out with me for 2 weeks, your life will never be the same again. It's $99, but if you use the discount code FREEDOM, you use that discount code, it'll splash 20 bucks off the price. You're joining the challenge for $79. Same thing over here, right? Same thing over here. Freedom. Use that discount code. You're joining the challenge for $79. What are we doing in the challenge? Like I said, it's a blueprint. Everything's all mapped out for you. The recipes are mapped out for you. There's a lot of variety as well. So you can make the recipes that works for you. So there's a lot of variety as well. So just show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. All you got to do is go to the grocery store, get the food, cook the food, get the results. That's it. Same thing you do. In the challenge, we're doing something no different. Nothing's going to change in that area. Every week you go to the grocery store, right? So you go to the grocery store, you get the food, and you cook the food, right? Every week you go to the grocery store, and the only difference is, none of that's going to change. The only difference in the challenge is this. We are going to get results. That's the last part of it. So go get the food, cook the food, eat the food, get the results. That's the next part of it. Over 200 people have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And when I tell you, I get emails every day of people saying, what have I been doing the last 25 years? If that's you, if you wonder what you've been doing the last 10, 15 years, and there's nothing that's changed, the only thing that's changed is your prescription in the last 25, 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years, and you've been saying that you need help. You say, hey, you're raising your hand. Yeah, I'm raising my hand. I need help. If that's you, what stands in the way becomes the way. That's what I'll say. What stands in the way becomes the way. You go look in the mirror and you ask yourself, what's been standing in the way of me reversing this condition, which I know it's reversible because so many other people have reversed this condition. Are you going to reverse diabetes in 2 weeks? No, that's a 3-month process. But as far as getting off the blood sugar roller coaster, the day-to-day highs and the day-to-day lows, you hang out with me for 2 weeks, we're going to get you off of that roller coaster. I promise you, we'll get you off of that roller coaster. It's guaranteed. You show up, do the work, you're there. That's it, folks. That's it. You're quite welcome. That's it. All right, no questions. No questions. All right, we're going to go on to the next topic. It's a quiet bunch today. It's all good. What's the next topic? Oh, yeah, the blood sugar roller coaster, folks. The blood sugar roller coaster. No questions, all right? That's what I don't want y'all to do, folks. We're going to go to the next topic, but I don't want y'all I don't want that to be you. Saying I could have did this, I should have did it, I would have did it. Kelley was saying that I've been raising my hand. I've been raising my hand for the last 10 years. I could have did it, I should have did it, but I didn't. And as a result, 5 years later, we still checking in on my life. The only thing that's changed is I stayed inside of my comfort zone. So the only thing that's changed in 5 years is my prescription. That's it. Just a higher dosage. Next, folks, we're getting ready to talk about the roller coaster. I said roller coasters are for amusement parks, not your blood sugar. Join the 14-day challenge. You ready to get off this roller coaster? I'm going to take y'all on a ride. You ready to get off this roller coaster? Put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you are ready to get off of the blood sugar roller coaster, because we're getting ready to play a game right now called the glucose roller coaster. This is the work you're going to have to do, folks. It's some work to get off of this roller coaster. I'm going to show you what's been happening to you every day. It's going to take some work to get off of this roller coaster, though. The highs and the lows I was talking about, you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar's at a 140, your blood sugar's at a 150, your blood sugar, you wake up and you're tired of waking up and your blood sugar in the morning is 200. If that's you, if you're tired of that, if you say, Kelley, I've raised my hand, I'm tired of that, man, nobody's helping me. I'm letting you know right now, I'm here to help you. But you're going to have to do the work. To get off of this roller coaster, you're going to have to do the work. Because like I said earlier, our comfort zone is a beautiful place. But the only thing that grows there is damn regret. Who's always tired, folks? Who's ever, you're suffering from this condition, you're tired, you're hungry. Put an I in the chat, put a 1 in the chat. If you've ever said like, yeah, I'm tired, yeah, I'm hungry, put a 1 in the chat. Me, yeah, we got some me's over there. You ready to get off of that roller coaster? Put a 1 in the chat. We got some 1s over here. We got some 1s. Here's why you're always tired, folks. Here's why you're always hungry. Here's why you always got these sugar cravings. It's because you're on a glucose roller coaster, a blood sugar roller coaster. It's like a game. But today, folks, your stop is going to stop today. Here's what your blood sugar is supposed to look like. Normal everyday life, your blood sugar is supposed to go in. You eat some food. You wake up in the morning, perfect world, your blood sugar is at an 85, right? Between 70 and 100 is where it should be, ideally. That's what we want it. You wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is at an 85. Okay, great. And then you eat some food and it might go up a little bit and then it'll come down. All right, cool. Then it comes down within 2 hours. That's what it's supposed to do. But here's what happens. In real life, here's what happens. That's not really how it happens, okay? If you're metabolically flexible, if you're a person that you're relatively normal, you don't have any insulin resistance, you don't have any of that. That's what it's gonna look like. But that's not how it happens for everybody. That's normal stuff. Eat some food, it goes up. Comes right back down within a couple of hours. But you see, when you're on a blood sugar roller coaster, when you're playing the game a little bit different, we're playing this game a little bit different, folks. When we're suffering from insulin resistance, and when we eat a bunch of junk food all the time, the crap as I call it, so if we ever had plans of getting out of that roller coaster, off of that roller coaster, we got to cut all the junk out. Okay? Here's what I mean by that. In a perfect world, you wake up and your blood sugar's at 8 a.m. Your blood sugar's at an 85. Perfect world. Who wants their blood sugar to be at an 85 when they wake up in the morning? Put a me in the chat. You want your blood sugar to be 85 when you wake up in the morning? Put a me in the chat. That's in a perfect world. Because what's your blood sugar right now? Your blood sugar right now, when you wake up, what's your blood sugar right now when you wake up? 200, 150, what is it? What is it when you wake up in the morning? Can you tell me? Put it in the chat. Got some me's? Okay. What is it typically when you wake up in the morning? Explain why my blood sugar rises overnight after fasting for 12 hours. That's it. We're on the roller coaster. I'm going to tell you about all of that. That's called the dawn phenomenon. Okay, 102. Some people wake up, there's that at 102. Okay, you're right on the border. Okay. Anybody else? When you wake up in the morning, what is your blood sugar? Why? Is it high? Is it low? Or something? All right, no guesses. All right, cool. So this, but in a perfect world, In a perfect world, here's where you want it. About an 85. But here's what happens in the morning. At that 85, you wake up in the perfect time, 85, and then you wake up, now my blood sugar's at a, starts going higher. Starts going higher, 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 higher. Why? Because we ate something. We ate the donuts, the sugary, some pasta, some cereal, some sweet, something ding-dongs, whatever. We ate that. We ate mom's pancakes. And as a result, our blood sugar went from an 85, now it's all the way up here in the 140s. It's at 140s because we ate that real high breakfast. Real sugary breakfast. And remember what we said? On an empty stomach? So that's called a spike. Remember that rocket we talked about? That's a spike. Okay, so why are you always tired? Well, whenever it goes up, that rocket, it comes down just as fast. And that's called a crash. That's called a crash, folks. This is when you get tired. This is when you get hungry. I'm tired, I'm hungry. This is when that happens. So what do you do at that time? Put it in the chat. What do you do at that time, at 10 a.m., when you're tired, you're hungry? What do? You go get yourself a snack, don't you? You go to that vending machine. You're at the office. You go to that vending machine, and then you go grab a Snicker bar. And when you grab that Snicker bar, it's going to send your blood sugar right back up again. And then when it goes up, and then boom, when it crashes, so that's when you get tired, that's when you get hungry, that's when you get all the sugar cravings. That's when it all happens, whenever that blood sugar starts to come down. Check it out. Noon. What happens at noon? Oh yeah, you go out to lunch with your coworkers. You're at the office, it's noon, it's lunchtime. You go out to the office and you hang out with your coworkers, and y'all go to somewhere real fast food, y'all. Y'all go to the buffet, y'all go do some takeout, y'all go somewhere. Where y'all going? Taco Bell, and boom, your blood sugar goes right back up again. This is the whole day. This is a roller coaster. This is when you got to get yourself off of this. And then when it comes down, when you go to lunch, you eat that big old lunch, and it comes down. Now, it's 3 p.m. What happens every day at 3 p.m. at the office, folks? Put it in the chat. What happens at 3 p.m. at the office? Don't be bashful. Go ahead. Tell me what happens when you're in a cubicle, and it's a Saturday, not Saturday, it's a random Wednesday, and it's 3 p.m. on a random Wednesday, and you're at the office. What happens, folks? How you feeling? How you feeling? What's up, Josh? How you feeling? What happens at 3? Any guesses on what happens at 3? Okay. Nothing. All right. Somebody said nothing. Most people said nothing. Nothing's happened at 3 when you're at the office. All right. Quiet bunch today. Okay, here we go. Tired, sluggish, and hungry. That's it. That's it. You sleepy. All right, cool. There we go. Participate, crash. There you go. You know what happens at the office. Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. That crash. That's it. That 3 p.m. crash. You get tired, you get hungry, you get all of that. This is what's happening. And then what you do. Oh, yeah. It's 3 p.m. And you know that coworker who loves to doggone, man, she loves to bring in the donuts in the morning, and there was some leftover donuts. You go to the break room, and there's some leftover donuts in the break room. And it was at 3 p.m., you get tired, you get hungry, like, oh, and you see those donuts that she left, that she brought, and you put them in there. You put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. You take one, and you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. And then you eat it, and it's like, you get that, you get that signal, like, You know that feeling? That, that's dopamine. Okay? Get that dopamine here, that's a hormone, that feel-good hormone. No, the 20%. Somebody's asking about a challenge. It's freedom. You got to put the discount code in freedom. Put that discount code in freedom while I'm live. Freedom, and it'll drop the percentage, 20% off. But yeah, back to the blood sugar roller coaster. You eat that donut, what's gonna happen? Now your blood sugar is gonna go right back up. It's gonna go right back up. And then it's gonna come down, and then we at 7 p.m. You made it through the day, you ran home through traffic, 5 p.m. traffic and all that stuff. You telling people you honking, get out of the way, honk. You know what I'm saying? Now you get home, it's dinner time. And guess what's for dinner tonight? Tonight's dinner is this. Spaghetti and meatballs, baked ziti, lasagna, pizza. It's pizza for dinner tonight. There's some macaroni and cheese. Something is for dinner tonight. Something like that. And then what you do? You eat that dinner, and what's going to happen to your blood sugar? It's going to go right back up. Your blood sugar is going to go right back up. And then, check it out, the day's not even over with yet. Now, it's coming down again. Now, it's 9:15. Now it's 9:15. Now what's happening at 9:15, folks? What happens at 9:15 damn near every night? You're watching your shows, you're watching Netflix, you're watching Hulu, you're watching whatever. Yeah, that's it. You get that snack time. Snack. What kind of snack though? What kind of snack? You get hungry, you're like, yo, I'm gonna get my craving. Yeah, you getting a snack, baby. So you go to the pantry and you get the biggest, not the pantry, you go to the freezer and you get your chips. You get your chips, you get your popcorn, you get a big bucket of ice cream, don't you? I know because I've been there. Look, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this, folks. Check it out. I'm not new to this. Look, here it is. I know exactly where you are, what I'm talking about. Look. I know exactly how that feels. You see the guy in the before? You see the before guy? That was me. Diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. So when I tell you what I mean to have the late night snacks and go eating that late at night, ice cream, yeah. I know what it means, folks. I know what it means to eat that ice cream. Get those evening snacks. I know what it feels like to be on this roller coaster. And it's not a good place. So you start going and you get that snack and then your blood sugar goes right back up again. But now there's a problem. Folks. What do we think the problem is? Okay, now it's about 10:15, 10 o'clock at night. But the problem is this. The problem is now we got high blood sugar. I'm going to put this over here. That's the discount code, folks, freedom. I'm going to put it back over here. But just for this example, here's what we're doing. Now, it's 10 p.m. at night, and your blood sugar is still high. What do we do when our blood sugar is still high? What do we do, folks? Our blood sugar is still high. 10 p.m. at night. What do we do? It's 10 p.m. Any guesses? Can't sleep, stay awake. Yeah, okay. There's some guesses. Here's some guesses. Can't sleep, stay awake. Let's see, what else? Can't sleep, okay. Can't sleep, stay asleep. Can't stay asleep. Appreciate that. Drink water. Go to sleep. Yeah, go to sleep. All right, here it is. Our blood sugar is still high at bedtime. Still high. Some people will grab some fast-acting insulin, won't they? Fast-acting insulin. 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 I'm just going to put insulin. Okay, we put insulin. 10 p.m. And all right, the day's still not over with because our blood sugar was at like, I don't know, 250 when we went to sleep. So now, what's going to happen at about 3 a.m., folks? Who can tell me what happens at about 3 a.m.? What you think is going to happen at 3 a.m.? Any guesses? What's going to happen at 3 a.m.? Yeah, that's it. You're going to wake up. You're right. You're going to wake up. Why are you waking up, though? Why are you waking up? It's supposed to be, it's 3 in the morning. You're supposed to be in deep sleep. You're supposed to be, you're going through different processes of REM sleep and all that stuff. Blood sugar still high. It's going to drop, okay? Here's what happens. Yeah, you're going to be sleeping and you're going to be like, huh. You're going to wake up like, oh, snap. Yeah, you're going to wake up like, oh, snap. Reason you're going to wake up like, oh, snap, is because of this. Your blood, because you took all that insulin at bedtime, now your blood sugar just tanks. And when your blood sugar tanks, guess what's going to happen? Now, you're going to wake up feeling crazy, like looking crazy, like looking up at the ceiling, like, what the hell's going on? And your spouse is going to be looking at you all crazy, like, yo, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Why are you waking up like that? Why are you waking up looking all crazy like that? Here's why. It's because your body's like, get the hell up. Your body's like, when your blood sugar drops that low, your body's like, adrenaline, kick in. Adrenaline, kick in. Let's wake this person up. We got to wake them up. Here's why. It's because if we don't wake them up, they're not going to survive. Their blood sugar is going to drop too low. If their blood sugar drops too low, that's it. It's game over. The game's over at that point. When the blood sugar drops too low. So then, that's what happens, folks. And then you go back to sleep, and then you wake up in the morning, and then you wake up in the morning, like your blood sugar drops, and then you wake up in the morning. Some people are like, well, why is my blood sugar high in the morning then, Kelley? Why is it high? I haven't even eaten anything for 12 hours. I ain't fast. I fasted. I ain't do none of that. Why is my blood sugar still high? That's always a common question, right? Why I get high blood sugar in the morning? Well, you get high blood sugar in the morning. Let's think about why you get high blood sugar in the morning. Everybody does. Everybody does. And shout out to somebody for just joining the challenge. We're getting them off of this roller coaster. Congratulations, you're getting off of the roller coaster. Hang out with me for 2 weeks, which you're going to do. Check your email and be on the lookout for a text message coming from me. After the live, I'm going to send you a personal text message. So don't worry, I got you. But this is it, folks. You got to get off of this roller coaster. If you do not get off this roller coaster, you're just going to be on it forever. On the roller coaster. The highs, the lows, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows. How do you fix this thing? Very first thing that you got to do. Remember that thing? Remember the plane analogy I gave y'all earlier? You remember that? To be able to fix this thing, because this is just an endless roller coaster, folks. It's an endless roller coaster. We wake up the next day, and check it out, and we do it over again. We wake up the next day, and we do the whole thing over again. Why do we wake up the next day? Because we're human beings are glutton for punishment. Human beings, check it out. Human beings are the only species that are the only life form that does not live to its max potential. It's the only life form that does not. A tree is going to live to its max. An ant, especially an ant, is going to live to its max potential. Everybody, Only one as human beings. Why? Is because we have the dignity to choose. We have the option to choose whether we want to be a glutton for punishment or not. Whether we want to wake up the next day and do the same thing over again. We talked about the dawn phenomenon, like why is my blood sugar high in the morning? Here's why it's high in the morning. It's because we're insulin resistant. Everybody has high blood sugar in the morning. But if you are insulin resistant, your blood sugar is going to be even higher. It's called the dawn phenomenon, folks. It happens to everybody. It's because the sun is coming. It's because your body's on a 24-hour timer. We talked about those hormones earlier, very, very important hormones. The reason that your blood sugar is high in the morning is because your hormones are just doing their job. That's all they're doing. The problem is we, on the outside, chose to live a poor lifestyle, and as a result, now we got high blood sugar, extremely high. 140, we wake up in the morning. 250, we wake up, my blood sugar, 250, I wake up in the morning, but I didn't eat anything, Kelley. Well, it's because at about 4 a.m., your body will start to slowly release adrenaline. And when it slowly releases adrenaline, it's also releasing cortisol as well. This is happening automatically. You can't do anything about this. It happens to everybody. So when the cortisol gets released, now the stored blood sugar gets released from your liver. It happens every morning. So now you got more blood sugar. Why do you have more blood sugar? It's because it's your body's way of saying, you need to wake up and have energy. So it's only logical that I give you energy, right? Why do you have high blood sugar in the morning? It's because it's only logical for you to have energy in the morning. That's why your blood sugar is high in the morning. But it's especially high if you have insulin resistance. If you have insulin resistance, your blood sugar is going to, if you are insulin resistant, if you're suffering from, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, all that stuff, your blood sugar is going to be especially high in the morning. So that is why you have high blood sugar in the morning, even though you didn't eat, even though you've been fasting. It happens to everybody. You are just more insulin resistant than everybody else, than other people. It's supposed to be between 70 and 100 when you wake up in the morning. So if you're metabolically flexible, if you're not suffering from insulin resistance, if your stuff's normal, as we'll say, if your stuff's normal, you should wake up every morning and your blood sugar should be between less than 100 every day. Should be less than 100 every single day. Every single day. That's on a metabolically flexible person. But if you're not metabolically flexible, you can wake up in the morning, your blood sugar, like I said, we don't even want it to go above 140. You wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is at 150. You wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is at 200. Appreciate the follow. So that's it, folks. This is called the blood sugar roller coaster. Now, if you are ready to get off of that roller coaster, like so many people are ready to get off this roller coaster and they're ready to get their life back. And they're ready to see how, look, it's going endless circle. I grew up in Disney. I grew up in Orlando. So I know a thing or two about roller coasters. I grew up in Florida. I know a thing or two about roller coasters. Okay? Busch Gardens has some of the baddest roller coasters. If you ever been to Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, they got some of the baddest roller coasters that there is. But here's the thing. I don't want you to get on that roller coaster. Because when you get on that roller coaster and it takes you up, and you know when you get on the roller coaster and it takes you up, and you're looking at the park, you're going higher, you get on the roller coaster, you're going higher, and then all of a sudden you get to the top of that roller coaster, and what happens? Boom! The bottom falls out, and you're like, ah! That is the roller coaster. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, that is the roller coaster that you do not want to get on. When you go to the amusement park, you want to make sure you get on the kiddie rides. Avoid the roller coaster at all costs and stay on the kiddie rides. Okay? What are the kiddie rides? Here's what the kiddie rides are. Starting your day off with a savory breakfast. Step number 1 in getting off the roller coaster, start your day off with a savory breakfast. Step number 1. Remember what we said a savory breakfast was? It was like that plane, right? You eat a Protein, a fat, and a veggie. Protein, that's your routine. Protein, fat, veggie. That's what you have for breakfast now. Protein, fat, veggie. Protein, fat, veggie. No more cereal, no more none of that. No more pancakes, no more none of that. At least right now. Not saying forever, I'm just saying right now. If you're suffering from insulin resistance and you want to get off the roller coaster, very first step is to start off with a savory breakfast. Start off with a savory breakfast. You're going to get up tonight. You're going to get a nice, clean energy all day. You're not going to be on this dang old roller coaster. You're going to have nice, clean energy all day. You're going to be like this all day. You start your day off with a savory breakfast, you're going to be like this all day. Nice, clean energy. Eat something, goes up, comes back down. Nice, clean energy all day. Very, very minimal response on your insulin. You do not have to use very much insulin starting when you continue to start your day off with a savory breakfast. You don't have to use much insulin. And over time, what happens, it's very little, it does happen quickly. I told you people are hanging out with me for 2 weeks and they're getting off the roller coaster in as little as 2 weeks. Their blood sugar is back to normal. Doctor took them off all of their medication, like yesterday. Jazzy, all kinds of GLP-1s, metformin, you name it, she was on. She hung out with me for 2 weeks and we got her off the roller coaster. And now yesterday, she reported in, we did a whole segment yesterday, the doctor took her off of all of her medication. All of them. Why? Because she just got off the roller coaster. That was it. That was it. And if that's you, if you're on that roller coaster, and if you're ready to get off of that roller coaster, you should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you've been raising your hand for the longest time, like I've been raising my hand, I need help, Kelley. This is what I need. I've been dealing with this for so many years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. I'm raising my hand, Kelley. I need help. Okay, well, if you raise your hand, I hear you. I hear you. Click the link in my bio. Register for the masterclass. Register for the challenge. Again, like so many people have done. Somebody just joined the challenge. Shout out to them. Shout out to them for joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, folks. Because these folks are ready to get off of that roller coaster. They've gotten to the point where they tried everything and nothing has worked. And they're believing that they're stuck this way. Like, I'm stuck like this, man. I'm stuck on this roller coaster forever. No, you're not. I told you earlier, human beings are the only species that has a choice. Human beings are the only species that does not live up to its full potential. The only one. Even dogs live up to their full potential. A dog can only be a dog. A dog can only be a dog. A horse can only be a horse. That's all a horse can do, is be a horse. A lion is all a lion can do is be a lion. Just go around eating up deer, eating up gazelles. That's all a lion knows how to do, is live up to his max potential. A tree, all it knows how to do is grow. A tree just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows until it can't grow any damn more. But human beings, on the other hand, no. We don't view it like that. Human beings have choices. You've got a choice. Regret is just pain reminding us that we had a choice. That's all regret is. It's just pain reminding us that you had a choice and you chose not. You chose to just continue to do what you were doing. And as a result, nothing changed. You ready to get off of this challenge? You ready to get off that roller coaster? It's going to be easy? No, it ain't going to be easy. You're going to have to put in work for 2 weeks. You're going to have to just focus for 2 weeks. Put everything to the side and say, I'm focusing on my health for the next 2 weeks, and I'm getting off of this damn roller coaster, just like Jazzy did. And the doctor took her off all her medications. Best story I ever heard in my life. She was on all different types of medications. And in 2 weeks, the doctor took her off. Her doctor did. The meds, all of them. Same thing's going to happen to you. Now, if that's it, folks, if that's it, if you're ready to get off of this, you're ready to get off of this roller coaster, I'm going to show you where it is. I'm going to show you how to get off of this roller coaster. And then I'm going to go use the little boys' room again, and then because I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm hydrated. I'm going to the gym after this. But check it out. Here it is right here. Same place, over here as well. Click this link right here. This is where all the goodies. It's like Disney World, folks. I told you I grew up in Orlando. I know a thing or two about Disney World. All the goodies are there. The quiz, the master class, and then that's free. The quiz is free. The master class is free. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's the only thing that is not free. We're getting you off of this is where you get off the roller coaster. This is where your stop is. If you say that's you, you've been on that roller coaster. If you said that's you and you're ready to get off of it, then this is what you need in your life. I promise you. You give me 2 weeks and your life will never be the same again. It's different. Different than anything you've ever tried. Because it's a blueprint. Same blueprint that I use, same blueprint that you're going to use. $99 during the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But if you use the discount code FREEDOM today, FREEDOM, that's why it's called FREEDOM, because you're freeing yourself. The live discount code today is FREEDOM, right here. You're joining the challenge for not $99, but $79 during the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge to get you off of the roller coaster. So that's it, folks. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go use the little boys' room, but in the meantime, take the quiz, register for the master class, get off the roller coaster, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But I'll be back, folks. Don't go anywhere. All right, folks, we're back. Oh, a couple of folks and a couple of new folks just joined us. Appreciate y'all joining us, folks. My name is Kelley, the Certified Holistic Nutritionist. Coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Let me see what's happening over here. My stream over here is going out. But I think we still got you. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, well, I think we're good. Okay, folks. This is making sense to y'all, the roller coaster. Who registered for the quiz, who registered for the master class, and who's accepting the 14-day challenge to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster. Let's see if I missed any questions while I was gone. Ooh, gluconeogenesis. No, you get into the big fancy words, Lori. Gluconeogenesis is yeah, I guess you could say that, sure. Fats and proteins, sure. Fats and proteins, what your body will burn instead of carbohydrates. So if you don't give yourself any carbohydrates, there's no carbohydrates, your body will make glucose, gluconeogenesis, as you say. That means glucose, blood sugar. Neo means new, and then genesis means to create. So gluconeogenesis literally means to create new blood cells, to create new blood sugar, sorry. That's what gluconeogenesis literally means. And it will do that based on the fats and the protein. Your body is very, very smart, folks. Very, very smart. Appreciate your knowledge. You're quite welcome. Any other questions? If you're just joining us, folks, we're talking about how to get off the glucose roller coaster. If you've been stuck on that glucose roller coaster, which is why we draw it on the board, you've been stuck on that roller coaster for many, 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 many years. And all the stuff that you tried, nothing's worked. You staying up all night worrying. What stands in the way becomes the way. You're ready to make a change. You got into that point. You're like, I'm ready. I've had that day. I'm ready for that change. And you're ready to throw the medicine bottle. Like, I'm so tired of taking medicine. You got to that point. Those are the people who are doing the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's 14 days. It's 42 meals. It's all designed by me. The guy who was a diabetic, had heart disease, and was obese. I had the triple whammy. The triple whammy. I had all that stuff. Let me show you. You're just joining us. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, all of that. All in the very same doctor's visit. This is your story. Is that your story too? Is that your story? You have all those conditions like I had? Like I had? Do you have all those conditions? Today's the day you get off the roller coaster. Today's the day you say, I'm getting my health back no matter what. Whatever it is that I gotta do, here's what I want you to remember. I want you to remember this. I want you to jot this one down. And I want you to remember this. To learn to love what it takes to get what you want. Learn to love what it takes to get what you want. Somebody say, how do I roll into the challenge? Again, I got you. How do I roll into the challenge? Again, the only thing I've seen that smooth my glucose is exercise. My diet is pretty good. Defined pretty good, right? A lot of people say pretty good. It's a very subjective word. Pretty good, clean eating, like it's a very, very subjective thing. You know what I mean? So let me show you how to get to that. So the challenge. Somebody's asking how to get to the challenge. So click right up here, click on my picture. And then you click on my picture again. You gotta click on my face twice. And then you're gonna come to something that looks like this. You're gonna come to my link right here. So click right up here, click on my picture again, and then you're gonna come to my link. The link is in my description right here. That link, it says link free. You click there, and it's gonna take you right to the challenge right here. That's where you accept it right there. It says $99, but again, if you use that discount code FREEDOM, you're joining the challenge for $79. That's how you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I guarantee your life will never look the same again. Right? You're gonna go through a little bit of pain. It's not gonna be real pain, but it's only the pain of not eating the stuff that you used to eat. That's the only pain that you're gonna go through. But when you get on the other side of that pain, you're gonna look back and be like, man, I'm glad I did it. Because now I don't have to live with the regret of not doing it. What if I would have did it? I don't want to have to live with that what if. That's it. Proud of you. Proud of you. Blessed. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? Any questions over here on how to get off of that blood sugar roller coaster? Any questions over here on anything related to food? Like we're getting where, what do we got? Like 31 minutes left. We stay on here till 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. But today, folks, I forgot to mention. For today, I'm gonna sit down for this part. Get to your questions. Today we're doing subscribers only. On TikTok, we're doing subscribers only today, folks. You know what a subscribers only live is? That's for my people who are subscribed. If you subscribe to my channel, that's what we're doing today. It's at 12 Central or 1 Eastern time. So 1 Eastern time is when we're going to do our subscribers only live. So you can subscribe right here. If you haven't subscribed, what we do is we do up close and personal live coaching. So any questions that you got, come on up. We do live coaching. Come on up, ask me any questions, be on the stage, and then it's real life coaching. So that's what I do. I coach people who are living, folks. I'm a health coach and a nutritionist. What I do. So 12 noon Central Time today. If you're a subscriber, come on in, ask your questions, come up to the stage. We got you. Right? But now it's Q&A time, folks. It's Q&A time, and any questions that you got for me, like I just said. We finished the blood sugar. We finished the roller coaster. What do we do today? I told you what we were going to talk about. I told you we was going to, this is your story, didn't I? Your story. We're going to rewrite your whole story. We're going to rewrite the script. We're going to rewrite that whole script. That movie that you wrote before, remember that? Remember that movie from before? We're rewriting the whole script. Here's how you get to the challenge. Show me again how to get to the 14 days. Well, I got you. One more time. I got you. Right here. So click right up here. You just click on my picture. And then you click on my picture again. You got to click on my picture again, James. You got to click here. And then click on my picture again. The picture. And then you're going to come to this. That's what you're going to come to. Right? And then you click right there. It says link tree. Boom. Right there. Scroll up, and there it is right there. Right there. The orange one. There it is. And then that's where you accept the challenge, boss. Let me know if that works for you. If you're still having trouble with it, man, send me a message, send me a DM, and we'll walk you through it. We'll get somebody to walk you through it. No worries. We got you. But there's also a lot of freebies on there as well, though. There's a lot of freebies on there as well. The quiz. Who's taking the quiz? It's a 2-minute quiz that you got to take to understand and learn your style, folks. It's very, very, very important. The master class, Peaceful Mind. How do you get rid of diabetes? Like, what is the work that you're going to have to do? What is the work that you're going to have to show up every day and do the work and do? That you're going to have a peaceful mind. This is where we're recapping everything. You're going to have a peaceful mind. You're going to have an active body. You're going to do some clean eating, which we did clean eating earlier, effective sleep, and then how you manage the alcohol, folks. That's it. Those are the areas that you're going to have to master. It's called maintaining your pace. How long will you have to maintain your pace? If you ever have plans of getting rid of diabetes and the pain, all of that stuff, and the regret and all that you're getting for, and you regret not doing it, right? Avoid regret by doing what you need to do today. You can totally avoid it if you do what you need to do today. And today, what you need to do, like I said, if you've been struggling with this condition, if that's you, if I'm talking to you, if you know who you are, if you've been struggling with this condition, what is it that you need to do today? You need to take some type of action. Yes, you can register for the quiz. You can register, that's free. You can register for the master class. You can register for join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You can, there's a PDF in there that you can download, free PDF. There's all different types of stuff that you can do to say, I'm moving forward, Kelley. I'm putting excuses to the side. That's it. Putting excuses to the side. All right. Any questions? You know, this is Q&A time, folks. Any questions? No questions. No questions about eating. No questions about anything. All right. There is no safety then. Like there is no safety when it comes to getting what you got to do. The formula. Remember our formula that I told you guys earlier? Here's the formula. Here's the formula. To get everything that you want, everything that you ever wanted, here's what you got to do. There's a formula. Somebody just joined the challenge. Shout out to them. Shout out to them for joining the challenge. And it's called the reset loop. What is the reset loop? Anything that you've ever wanted in your life, if you apply this formula, I'm telling you, you will get it. So if it's to get off the medication, if it's to accomplish some big goal, if it's to do whatever, if you master this formula, it's called the reset formula. Here it is. It's to Learn, try, evaluate, refine. I'm going to give you that formula again. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. You just keep doing that over and over again. It's a loop. First you learn whatever it is that you got to learn. Like I'm teaching you guys a bunch of stuff today. You're learning a bunch. You learned about the blood sugar roller coaster. You learned about eating. You learned about the lifestyle medicine formula. You learned what an A1C is. You learned about a whole bunch of stuff. You learned. Okay, now you got to go try. That's the next part of the formula. Learn, try. So try it. Whatever the stuff that I'm telling you to do, try it, man. Try it. Like try adding it into your life. Try it. Add it into your life. Just take one thing. Here it is. Here's how you can do it. Just take one thing. It's going to be a little bit hard. It's going to be a little bit challenging. But you know that you can do it for at least 2 weeks. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's eating your vegetables first. Maybe it's not combining beans and rice together. Maybe it's having a savory breakfast. Maybe it's having better sleep hygiene. But you choose one thing. Just one. And do it for 2 weeks straight. Just do it for 2 weeks straight. And then boom, you're there. Learn, try, so you tried it, and then you evaluate it. You evaluate the results. How did I do? Did I do well? Did I not do well? Did I lose some weight? Did I gain some weight? What's up with my blood sugar? What are the results? What are the results? So you evaluate the results, and then finally you refine the results. So what is it that you need to tweak? What is it that you need to change? So learn, try, evaluate, refine. You learn it, you try, you evaluate it, you refine it. You learn, you try, you evaluate, you refine. You literally do that every day. That is the formula to get anything that you ever want, whatever it is that you want. You do that. It's called the reset loop. If I join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, is it a live or information to follow? It is a blueprint. It is a blueprint. It's 2 weeks. It's a 2-week blueprint. Everything's all made. Everything's all scripted for you. All you got to do is follow the script. You go in there, you read all the information, you follow the script. And if you do it just like everybody else has done, it's a blueprint. You follow the blueprint just like everybody else has done. You're gonna be the next one that we call up here on this live and be like, yo, I don't take meds anymore. My doctor took me off. That was the call yesterday. If you were not on that call yesterday, that was crazy. I'm still blown by that. I was like, yo, I thought once you get prescribed meds, you got to take meds for the rest of your life, don't you? Nah, that's not the case. It's not the case that if you get prescribed meds, that you got to take meds for the rest of your whole natural life. That is not the case, folks. If you want it to be the case, like we talked about choices, if you want it to be the choices, if you want it to be that, it can be that. But remember, we're human beings. We have choices. Only species that has choices is a human being. Okay? So yeah, that's it, folks. That's it. Use that discount code FREEDOM. You want to join that challenge? Like I said, if you got to the point where change isn't just desired, you want to use that discount code FREEDOM, because that's what you're going to experience. Freedom in just 14 days. You're like, well, Kelley, I've been dealing with this for 14 years. How you going to tell me in 14 days that we're going to do something? How you going to tell me we're going to get off the blood sugar roller coaster and I've been dealing with this for 14 years? Like, how you going to tell me that, bro? How you going to tell me that? Well, and this is what I'll tell you. I'll tell you this. It's not up to you. It's not up to you. It's up to your body. Because that's how badly your body wants to heal. It could be a matter of a couple of days, but 14 days is when your body's, you're like, I'm good. My blood sugar's like, I'm good. 14 days. because that's how quickly your body wants to heal. Getting off this roller coaster is easy. It's easy to get off of the roller coaster. All you got to do is the work. All you got to give your body all you got to do is give your body what it needs, when it needs it, and your body will do the work. Your body will just heal itself. All because you just gave it the right tools and you gave it the right equipment and you gave it the right time and you stopped giving it all the crap. You stopped punishing it. You stopped putting all the stuff in that was hurting it. You stopped putting all the diesel fuel in it, as I call it. You stop filling up on diesel fuel. We're not going to fill up on diesel fuel. Diesel fuel, what is that? That's all the junk food, all of the ultra processed foods, all of that stuff. Your body can't heal off of that. Your body doesn't even know what to do with all that stuff. But when you give your body what it needs, I call it unlet it. You give your body to unlet it. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, beans, right? Leaner sources of protein, chicken, turkey, salmon, tofu or tempeh, depending on which diet you eat. Which diet you subscribe to. Eat the whole unprocessed versions of those. We're not eating sausages and bacon and salami and all that stuff. We ain't eating all that. We're eating the good stuff. The nice, clean, whole, unprocessed foods. That's what we're eating. And you do that, your body will respond. That's it. That's how it goes, folks. That is how it goes. That is how quickly your body wants to heal itself. Any other questions? Any questions? No questions. All right. Next, we're going to jump into practical tips then. If there's no more questions, let's see if there's any questions over here. Any questions over here? No questions over here. Y'all got any questions? Don't be bashful over here. You got any questions over here on my other socials over here? Don't be bashful. We got you. But while we're here, folks, go take the quiz. Go for the master class. My people who are ready for serious change, go join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. We got you. I got you. You're quite welcome. Let's see. Okay. Practical tips then. Let's get into some of these tips. The last 20 minutes of the live. You're quite welcome, Dana. This is the last 20 minutes of the live. Because we get ready to get out of here in 20 minutes. 10, 15, 20 minutes. Here's what we're going to, and we'll be back at 12. We'll be back, though, in about an hour. We'll be back at 12 Central or 1 Eastern. We'll be back for the subscribers only live. So if you're a subscriber, man, don't miss out on that. We're doing the subscribers only live today, folks. Tips. Let's talk about some tips. Some of the tips are, who gets sugar cravings? When you get sugar cravings, who gets a lot of sugar cravings? Like, yeah, I get a lot of sugar cravings. I like to eat, sugar. I need the sugar. Who gets those? Put them in the chat if you get those sugar cravings. You get them all the time. And you wonder, how can I stop these sugar cravings? Because a lot of people get it, right? The code for the 14-day challenge, Erica, is freedom. Over on this side, Erica, is freedom. That is the code for the 14-day challenge. Freedom. If you want to get off of that roller coaster, you join the challenge for $79, Erica. But back to it. Back to the practical tips. Sugar cravings. When you get these sugar cravings, here's what's happening. You're like, sugar, sugar, sugar. How can I stop it? Well, you stop it by remembering this saying right here. That bitter is better and sour has power. Bitter is better and sour has power. So if you've ever getting all these sugar cravings, go get yourself something bitter instead. When you get a sugar craving, you want a whole bunch of sugar, go get something like some dark chocolate. Get something like a lemon or lime. Something like a green apple. Get something bitter, get something sour. You eat that first. You get a lot of sugar cravings. Next time you go to the grocery store, just go get yourself a green apple. Go get a bag of green apples. And every time you get a sugar craving, you eat one of those apples. Because those green apples aren't good, are they? They're very, very sour and they're very, very bitter, aren't they? They're like, ugh, every time you drink, either you hate the green apples or you love them. Either you love them or you hate them. Which one are you? Do you love the green apples or do you hate them? Do you love them or do you hate them? All right? Do you love them or do you hate them? Put it in the chat. Do you love the green apples or do you hate them? You love them. Ooh, somebody said that they love them. They love them. What about you? Do you love them or do you hate them? Any other guesses? Okay. Well, no other guess or no other poll. Any guesses on the poll? I mean, we're not guessing, but what do you love them or you hate them? Love those Granny Smith apples. Okay, great. So if you love them, either way, whether you love them or whether you hate them, either way, the point is, just go get yourself one. Just go get yourself some. Whenever you get those cravings, get something bitter, get some dark chocolate, get an apple, eat the apple instead. All right? She loves them. Erica loves them. Here's one. Somebody doesn't like them. Red over green every time, willing to change. It's not about necessarily willing to change. I'm glad you're willing to change. But here's the thing: you can use them as a tool. You can use them as a tool. Whenever you get those sugar cravings, those sweet cravings, eat a green apple instead. Eat a piece of dark chocolate instead. Grab some lemon and lime. How do I know it's going to work? It's guaranteed to work. It's guaranteed to make the sugar craving go away, because when you eat that, it does something different to your digestive system. Your saliva reacts in a different way. Your saliva is like, whoa, and it sends hormones down your body. It's like, yo, no, we don't want anything sweet. We don't want anything sweet right now. We'll pass on the sweetness. Hell yes, it works. It works, Hope. You're right. If you tried it before, it works. I'm telling you, you will not think about sweet stuff whenever you go eat a green apple or you go eat some dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. We're not talking milk chocolate, folks. A lot of people are like, well, what milk chocolate? No, we ain't talking milk chocolate. We're talking dark chocolate, the bitter stuff. You use that. Man. Sugar cravings, getting off of that roller coaster like we talked about. Remember, I told you, I'm going to get you off of this roller coaster. These are practical tips. I'm going to get you off this roller coaster. You start applying all this stuff. You start applying this stuff to your life. Because here's the thing, you gotta apply it to your life. Because knowledge without action is just entertainment, folks. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Okay? Let's see, we got another question over here. What about salty cravings like potato chips, popcorn, Cheez-It? No, Erica. What about salty cravings? Here's the thing. Getting yourself off the roller coaster is step number one. So stop all the cravings. The very first step to getting off the roller coaster is the very first step over here. The very first step, Erica, to getting off the roller coaster is to have a savory breakfast. That's step number one. Have a savory breakfast. What's that? Like we talked about earlier. Broccoli, a protein, a fat, and a fiber. Like a veggie. Protein, a fat, and a veggie. So it could be like chicken and broccoli and an avocado. Tofu scramble with some spinach on the side with some nuts and seeds or something. It could be eggs and avocado or whatever. Eggs and spinach. Right? This is a savory breakfast. That's step number one of getting yourself off of the roller coaster, stopping all the cravings, stopping the sugar cravings and the salty cravings too. The potato chips, the popcorn, the Cheez-Its, all of that stuff. Yeah, I like that. So bitter is better, sour has power. Start your day off with a savory breakfast. These are the number one. These are the rules. Knowledge is action. Is just knowledge without action is just entertainment. Yep, you got it, Hope. Without action, and you missed it without. But I get what you're saying. It's just entertainment. And I'm not out here to entertain you folks. I know we're talking about roller coasters and all that stuff. Getting on a roller coaster is very, very entertaining. But I'm not up here to entertain you, even though this is entertaining stuff. No worries, I got you. I'm just messing with you, Hope. I know what you meant. Can we eat popcorn? Well, you can eat popcorn if you follow the rules. You know the rules, right, Terry? I know you know the rules of eating those carbohydrates. You know the rules, right? As long as you're eating the rules. Remember, we're not eating naked carbs. We're not eating we're not eating naked popcorn. We're just not waking up on an empty stomach and we're eating popcorn. Remember that? The rule is to eat it as a dessert, right? All that stuff, you eat it as a dessert after your meal. Now, does that give you the green light to just go munch a bunch of popcorn? Like, take a big bag of popcorn and make it all buttery popcorn and put your hand in there and you pull it out and it's nothing but butter and grease? No. That ain't what we're talking about. It's just some healthier popcorn. And obey the rules. There's some limitations you gotta have. Feel what I'm saying? Okay, so that's it. Another tip. Savory breakfast we did. We did bitter is better. What else we do? Oh yeah. Moving your body. That's another one. The moving of the body. That's it. What do you mean moving the body, Kelly? Well, I mean moving the body like this. Especially after you eat. Like I said before, if you're just joining us, moving your body is so amazing, right? Just rice. Tim, what do you mean just rice? No. Wait, then I'm gonna answer you. We got Tim over here. But no, just rice. No, not just rice. You're not gonna eat just rice by itself. That's called eating naked carbs. Do not eat carbs naked. If you were here earlier, go check out the replay, Tim. We got you when we talk about naked carbs and how to eat those carbohydrates. You always want to make sure you pair them with a healthy fat or a healthy protein. Never by themselves. So that's called don't eat naked carbs. Don't eat rice just by itself. Don't wake up in the morning and have a bowl of oatmeal on an empty stomach. Make sure you got some clothing with it first. Proteins and fats. It's called clothing. But back to it though. Moving your body. Moving your body is so crucial, especially if you're suffering from insulin resistance, folks. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, moving your body is going to be one of the most important things that you can do. Now, am I saying you got to go out and be a world-class athlete, be a bodybuilder, all that stuff, be Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that stuff? You got to become the Hulk. I ain't saying you got to go out and become the Hulk. But what I am saying is you got to move your body. You got to be active. You got to be active. All right, hold on, let me see. You got to be active. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You're like, well, what the hell does that mean, Kelley? 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. The reason you want to do that is because right after you eat, your blood sugar goes higher. And when your blood sugar goes higher, your muscles love to eat the stuff that you have too much of. So if you got too much blood sugar, your muscles love to eat that. So whenever you go to the gym and you're hitting the weights and you're putting on some kind of resistance, man, that's moving that your muscles are soaking those up. Am I saying you got to go to the gym? No, I'm not saying you got to go to the gym, but you can do practical things like this. Check this out. You can go get the squeegee balls. You know, right after you eat, those balls that you squeeze, the squeegee balls, or the grips. You know, the grips like that. You can just do that and just squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it. And if you're wearing a glucose monitor, I'm telling you, if you're wearing, I've done it. Experimented on myself with a continuous glucose monitor. When you eat and you see your blood sugar starts to rise, but when you start moving your body and you start squeezing your arms like that on those balls, those squeegee balls, you'll see your numbers start to go down. Because the muscles are soaking up all of that extra blood sugar from that you just ate. When you finish eating dinner, you can go do laundry. Do the laundry around the house. Like, hey, I'm going to do the laundry. Or, hey, I'm going to go wash the dishes. I'm going to go wash the dishes, man. You go wash the dishes, guess what? Woo! You're moving your body. You're at the office, check it out, you're at the office, you just finished, you're at the office and you're in your cubicle and you're sitting in your desk, you can just be doing little calf raises right while you're at your desk. Right while you're at your desk, just like that, doing little calf raises. If you can see my calves right now, they're going up and down, up and down. Up and down. What you're doing is you're activating what's called your soleus muscle. Your soleus muscle that's when you walk. So whenever you walk, somebody said they're out walking right now. So whenever you walk, you're using your soleus muscle. And it's soaking up all of that glucose that you just ate. So that is why it's so important for you to move your body after you eat. Am I saying you gotta be a world-class athlete? No. Just saying, if you got too much blood sugar, how do you get rid of it is go move your body. Some way, somehow. Find practical ways, and those are some practical ways to do it. Okay, so that's it. Any questions on moving your body? Okay. Here's another one. Write these down, folks. Jot these down. These are good ones. We got about 5 minutes left before we get up out of here. But so if you got any questions, throw them in the chat. But these are the good ones. Here, I'm gonna give you another good one. Check this out. Better sleep. Remember we talked about earlier. Better sleep. How important is sleep? Man, more important than what you think it is. Sleep is so important that if you do not get enough of it, you ain't gonna be recovering. You're not gonna recover. You're not gonna do any of that. You're gonna have brain fog. You're gonna have high levels of insulin. You're gonna be insulin resistant. You're gonna have high blood sugar, all because you're getting terrible sleep. Here's what you can do. Instead of waking up in the morning, and first thing that you do is, as soon as you turn your alarm clock off, you grab some sugar. You grab some sugar, or you grab some coffee first thing in the morning. Before you go outside, before you go out into the sun, you just grab coffee. You just rushing out of the door, boom, with your coffee. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing that first, instead of letting coffee be the first thing you grab, first thing that you should grab is the sun. Is the sunlight. You go out into the sun and you let the sun just smack you in the face. You let the sun smack you in the face. And when you let the sun smack you in the face, here's what's going to happen. Your cortisol is going to rise. So you go out into the sun for like 5 or 10 minutes. And that morning sun. And you let your cortisol rise naturally. And when you let it rise naturally, guess what? Now, you're getting natural energy. You're not getting energy from the caffeine. You're getting natural energy, and that your body is going to produce on its own. That's how in tune we are with nature, folks. Remember I told you earlier about why you get high blood sugar in the morning and the dawn phenomenon and all that stuff with hormones and all of that stuff? Hormones are, I don't know if you know this, folks, but hormones are some of the most important stuff that there is, okay? Hormones. So instead of doing any of that, let the first thing that you do in the morning is to go out into the sun and let that light hit your eyes so that the cortisol rises naturally. And then wait 60 to 90 minutes after that. Then you can have the coffee. You wait 60 to 90 minutes after that, then you can have the coffee. But never wake up in the morning and just have the coffee. And you're going to wonder, I'm telling you, this is how you get off the roller coaster, folks. I'm teaching y'all how to get off the roller coaster. But you're going to have to do the work. Remember I said earlier, learn, try, evaluate, refine. Learn, try, evaluate, refine. That's the work. You're going to have to learn, what is it I got to learn? What is it I got to try? What is it I got to evaluate? What is it I got to refine? Another step of getting off the roller coaster is getting great sleep. Now, you do that in the morning time, you're going to have nice sustained energy, nice melatonin, your cortisol is going to be high. But here's the thing. To get even better sleep, you do that in the evening time as well. You're going to get the evening sun as well. Right before the sun is going down, maybe like 30 minutes around dusk when the sun is going down. Cool. I like to go walk my dog around that time. The reason I walk my dog around that time And what's going to happen is I'm going to get that sun into my eyes. All right. You got some more questions? More over here. Working night shift 2 times a week. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Night shift is crazy. You definitely got to get your sleep together. If you're working night shift, you definitely got to that's got to be the #1 priority, is getting your sleep together. Because you're already going to get some natural circadian rhythm. So go out into the sun in the evening time too. Go walk your dog around when the sun, you notice that the sun is different when it goes down at night. You ever notice the sun is softer when it goes down at night? When it's going down, instead of the sun from the middle of the day, like that middle of the day sun, you go out there and it's like, oh my God, it's so hot. Ah! Oh my God, the sun is bright. Ah! Not that sun. That sun is good too. But the sun to get great sleep is the morning sun and the evening sun. The morning sun, evening sun. Exposure yourself to that, and your eyes will say, okay, that's the evening sun. It knows the difference. Your body, your hormones know the difference between the morning sun and the evening sun. And in the evening time, boom, it says melatonin start to rise. Cortisol go down. Cortisol go away. Melatonin rise. Cortisol go away. Melatonin rise. That's the signal that you send to your body whenever you go get the evening sun. And then you'll just fall into sleep at night. I don't have any problem going to sleep. Check it out. Because I know that I get that morning sun and evening sun. I just go like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I wake up feeling refreshed. It's because you're mastering your circadian rhythm, folks. That's it. That's the better sleep. So that's it, folks. We're getting ready to get up out of here. Yes, I love sunsets. If y'all want to join, we'll be back Monday, folks. We'll be back again on Monday. We're getting ready to get up out of here right now. But if you're one of the subscribers, join the Subscribers Only Live. That's coming up in an hour. 1 hour from now, we're doing a Subscribers Only Live, folks. 1 hour from now. Until then, folks, here it is. If you're ready to get off of that roller coaster, if you say, you know what, I'm ready to get off of that roller coaster, which so many people have done today, shout out to them. If you're ready to get off of that roller coaster, if you're ready to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you can click that link in my bio, folks. You can register for the quiz. You can register for the master class. You can register for all that stuff. So right over here as well. So if you click right over here in my description for my other socials over here, if you click, this is TikTok, but on my other socials as well, there's a link, that very first link in my description. You click that link, and you're going to come to something that looks like this. You're going to come to this. You're going to come to this. That link, folks, is like Disney World for a diabetic. You got the quiz, free quiz. Go take the quiz. The master class is a free master class, 45 minutes. I'm going to break down the lifestyle medicine formula. It's absolutely free. All you got to pay is attention. That's all you got to pay is attention. And then the PDF right here, there's a free PDF. That's all free. But the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is for people who have gotten to the point where change isn't just desired. It's downright necessary. You got to the point where change isn't desired, where you got to the point where you don't know what else to do anymore. And you raise your hand for help and no one's helped you. And that's the help that you need. And if you've tried everything and nothing's worked, and if you've been on the blood sugar roller coaster for a long time, and if you've been staying up at night for a long time, not being able to get any sleep because your blood sugar's all over the place, and you're ready to get off that roller coaster, you should join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Here it is. You want to use that discount code FREEDOM. FREEDOM is the discount code. You want to use that discount code FREEDOM. That's it. FREEDOM. You're joining the challenge, folks. $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But here's the thing. $79 for the rest of your life, to me, it's worth it. Okay? To me, it is worth it. What's up, J Money? But again, if that's you, click that link in my bio, register for the quiz, register for the master class, book a call, do something. The point is, do something. But here it is. Until Monday, folks, here's what I want y'all to do. Do you recommend it if you're not on medications? If you're suffering, you don't have to be on medication. No. Of course it's recommended if you're not on medication. But the thing is, if you're on that roller coaster, for the people who are on that roller coaster, you've gotten to the point where you're ready to get off that roller coaster, medication or not, you're ready to get off of that, you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use that discount code FREEDOM. But until then, folks, until Monday at 8:15 Eastern time, here's what I want y'all to remember. I told y'all earlier about what human beings are the only people that have the dignity to choose. Like, we can choose. Here's the thing I want to leave y'all with until Monday. You see, when we're born, we look like our parents. But when we die, we look like our choices.